disappearing nearly a year ago, but a witness testified yesterday that she saw 42-year-old defendant Jarvis Butts with Harris and Ypsilanti the evening she went missing. CBS News' Rich Jack Springate joins us from outside the 36th District Courthouse in Detroit to tell us how phone records are shedding more light on Butts' whereabouts following the violence.
Welcome in, everybody.
Well, an expert in phone records forensics and cell tower mapping delivered a compelling timeline of where they tracked Butts' phone the day ZIYAH disappeared, as well as the following 36 hours. A little after 4 p.m. on January 9th, 2024, Butts' phone was tracked to his shop on Connor Street, according to the expert's analysis. Between that time and a little before 7:30 p.m., the data shows his phone's location heading towards Ypsilanti, consistent with what one witness said yesterday when she claimed seeing ZIYAH with Butts the day she went missing. Further analysis shows more activity from his cell phone near his shop once again. This time it's traced around 8:22 and 9 p.m. on January 9th. The witness then testified to Butts' phone activity stemming from the area near the Park Crest Inn. That's what two witnesses described yesterday as a place Butts would take other women to have sex. The report shows that these calls occurred after 10:35 p.m. on the day ZIYAH disappeared. Another exhibit shows Butts' phone activity more than 24 hours later. This time they tracked activity between 11:40 p.m. on January 10th to 1:30 a.m. on the 11th near the area of 7 Mile and Berg Road. This is the same location crews searched for ZIYAH's body 1 year ago. They never found her, but they did find a jacket, pink onesie, and black Nike shoes that match what witness described her wearing when she went missing.
We were responding to a missing person.
What was your role in searching the 7 Mile and Berg area?
I was searching the riverbank of the River Rouge. We were searching south along the bank. I was on the east side of the bank in the 7 Mile Berg area.
We then heard shocking testimony from one of ZIYAH's cousins, who is younger than 10 years old. A warning, this information could be disturbing to some viewers. She alleges being in the room with another cousin while Butts took it.
Trigger words. Welcome in, everybody. Shout out to everybody in the building. Please be sure to smack that thumbs up, and thank y'all so much for being here. So there's been some new information that came out. I want to go over some other stuff, and I also want y'all opinion on this video. So I ran into a video where Roxy was explaining the situation, her and Shannon's conversation in the kitchen that day. Now, y'all know I did a video. I put it, I elevated the sound of the video so we could hear what Shannon said. And I just want to make sure that we heard what we thought we heard. Because when I heard what Roxy said, it really shocked me. Welcome in. I'm his wife, and welcome in, Amma. Thank you so much for listening in. Shout out to y'all. Thank y'all for dropping down, and shout out to everybody in the bushes. Drop down and let me know who's here. But please smack the thumbs up, even if you stay in the bushes. That'll be fine. Okay, but so I'm gonna let this video play. But first, I want to say this is a crime channel, 18 and up. You may hear some things that's gonna appear to be shocking, although I'm not trying to shock anybody. But we are here to report crime. You know, news reporting, teaching. I don't know why I stumble across this. I need to just play my disclaimer. But yeah, so it's not meant to shock you. Shout out to YouTube, because I really do that for YouTube. But this is a crime channel, and you will hear some things that is going to be disturbing, but not meant to shock anyone. I know that was a lie. Roxy says she ain't say that. Man, ain't no way. I know what I heard, man. I know what I heard, and y'all know what y'all heard. So one thing that I said is that Shannon talks confusing. She talks confusing on purpose, in my opinion. And when I first heard this, I said that. But I'm going to go ahead and get through this video, and I'm going to play it because I got it in here, and I want y'all to tell me if you heard what we thought we heard, you know? So, I mean, I was shocked that she even said that. I wasn't expecting that. She did, in that conversation, though, Shannon did start out like she was talking about herself, but then she started saying she. So who's the she we talking about? Let me get through this.
Advantage and had sex with ZIYAH. Disturbingly, this wasn't the only time she alleges witnessing Butts coercing sex on her cousins. She even says he tried to make advances towards her at one point, but she was able to say no after recognizing what he was trying to do. Unfortunately, that's because she's seen him act this way towards her cousins before, who were also Butts' nieces. One of ZIYAH's biggest advocates and adult cousins described seeing Butts in court after hearing these allegations.
I don't have nice words, necessarily for that. But obviously, I have to be strong for my family. I have to be strong for ZIYAH, and I'm putting my trust in the justice system.
And it doesn't get much more difficult to hear witness testimony than what we heard from that young girl this afternoon. We'll be here for another day of witness testimony starting tomorrow, and we'll be bringing you updates starting at 10 a.m. throughout the day. For now.
Okay, so another thing that I noticed is that ZIYAH had on nails in this video. This is one of her more recent videos. Like, she looks different again. Here's another video. She looked like a total, she looks similar but not the same. Like, if she looked like this, why wouldn't they show some more something that look more like her? Like, let me move this banner out the way. And you can clearly tell that she is pregnant. So I don't know why the school didn't notice. Like I've been saying, she's wearing tight stuff. Like these leggings she got on super tight, but you can clearly see. Now they said that it was 3 weeks before her disappearance. Whoever wrote that is what they said. But you can clearly see. Clearly. Okay. This is wild. So my thing is, I feel like obviously the CPS didn't do their job. The police didn't do their job. Soon as that report happened, first of all, Jarvis should have been locked up because of his record, his past record. But they didn't want to do that. But then when this case came up again, they didn't connect the two. Well, no, because they worded it different or didn't have her as a victim or something weird. Like they really messed this up. So with that being said, I felt like they had some type of connection somewhere in CPS, the school. Like, because I felt like the school, like marking her present on the 10th when she was missing. So that made me wonder, well, how many other times have she been reported? Marked present and she wasn't there. Then him coming up to the school and the things that Jernell and Kiwana was saying as far as they were taking the grandmother's words as gospel. So the next, let me read this. So this is the update. So, and this came out, I'm reading from Detroit 7, and this is written by Ross Jones, March 20th, 2025. It says the Detroit Police Department failed to investigate a 2022 claim that ZIYAH Harris had been inappropriately touched by Jarvis Butts, the man later accused of unaliving her and essaying her. It was nothing unfounded, CPS said. Oh, they said the house was clean. It was food in the house. That ain't what they called you for. So that was really annoying. It's like they end this thing together. So the alert to police was made more than 20 months before ZIYAH would go missing, and came in the form of law enforcement notification, or LEN, LEN, sent by CPS services. Okay. So CPS did that. What? I don't know what's up with this article right now. So the alert to the police was made. So it was an alert to the police. It was made more than 20 months before ZIYAH would go missing. And it came in the form of law enforcement. Dude, I'm not trying to play this video. It came in the form of law enforcement notification, or LENS, sent by CPS. So we just didn't do enough. Okay, so CPS sent it to police. They admitting that they didn't do enough with it. Obviously, they didn't. Let me go down to this. Give me 1 second, y'all. We gonna do that. We gonna come over here. Everything is moving slow right now. They had to know. No way people ain't know she was pregnant. And she has her nails done, like Jarvis said. Yep, in his interview. Yep, that's what I was about to say. That he actually, or if I didn't say it, but he actually mentioned buying her nails. He was like, "Yeah, she came to me about some nails or something." So and the detective was like, "Well, why not get them to her, give them to her?" Because she was saying that the grandmother ain't on buying all that stuff, but she wanted them, so he got them for her. You work, you earn it. You earn it. She earned it, so he got her the nails. So that's why I wonder. I don't know if this. I guess it was 3 weeks ago, but he bought those nails. Okay, so we just didn't do enough with it. The assistant chief Charles Fitzgerald said in an interview Tuesday, adding that the department has since implemented new policies that would ensure the same mistake doesn't happen again. So what new policies are those, I wonder? It really sucks because I mean, how much practice do they have with this? They should have every policy in place, but most of the time it's not the policy, it's the people that just don't do their job. So he said we just didn't do enough in an interview on Tuesday, adding that the department has since implemented new policies that would ensure the same mistake doesn't happen again. We could have done better, no question, he said. So last month, 7 News Detroit revealed that Jarvis Butts had been the subject of multiple complaints to CPS, including some of the name, including some that named Naziah along with a second girl as the victims of inappropriate touching. So we know that these were the complaints that Jernell and Kiwana did to CPS. We know that Jernell had a text conversation with Shannon, who told her that she talked to people and they asked for Jarvis information, and Shannon pretty much played both sides with that, which I feel like she's playing both sides now. Um, So records show that CPS investigated the allegations against one of the girls who made no disclosures about any abuse, but not Naziah. What CPS officials did do, however, was share the alert that named Naziah with Detroit police in the form of a LIN. Let me read that again. So, records show that CPS investigated the allegations against one of the girls who had made no disclosures about any abuse, but not Naziah. So they talking about the little girl that said that he did whatever. So what CPS officials did do, however, was share the alert that named Naziah with Detroit police in the form of LIN. What is that though? So the alerts are common, with the department receiving about a dozen a day and more than 5,000 last year. They are sent when CPS learns of possible criminal behavior that a local jurisdiction may want to investigate. So in this case, the complaint told DPD that there was an incident at a birthday party where a child unnamed accused Butts of SA. And so the complaint went on to name 2 other children who may have been SA, saying Naziah and the name withheld, which was his own, reported that Jarvis inappropriately touched, and it read that he is also a SO and a felon. So Naziah's great aunt Jernell says she filed that complaint with CPS that was ultimately made its way to DPD. They're the police. They're supposed to investigate. Jernell said in an interview this week, everything was there, but the department never did investigate, at least with no respect to ZIYAH. I don't understand how they got that wrong. It's like that was written on purpose like that or something. I mean, the report was originally for the visitor, but why not look at all of that? That's crazy. Whose hands was it in and who need to be fired? That makes no sense. Please smack the thumbs up, y'all, and subscribe to the channel. Thank you, Alma. Exactly, both sides. Another thing I want to know is if she was so-called balled up and on the floor at the school because her stomach was hurting, why she wasn't walking like that in the video of her the day she went missing. Now I didn't hear now that is a good question. Like if her state was so bad, how was she in the car and why wouldn't it be noticeable there? But that was one of my questions when I seen the picture. I said, so what the teacher said didn't make sense. What if it's somebody in the school that's working along with us and they lying? I don't know, because it just don't make sense. She said that she laid on the floor and she wanted to talk to a counselor. But she didn't say, I didn't hear her say she was balled up and her stomach was hurting and stuff like that. She just said that she was on the floor and wanted to talk to a counselor, and the teacher said that she talked to the security guard. Told the security guard to tell the counselor. And that didn't make sense to me. So to me, the teacher, to me, it's a fact that teacher dropped the ball. And then why wouldn't the teacher? So my thing is, I don't know if that even happened because her picture don't match that. When did she say that? When did she do that? What time was it? Who else seen it? Did they question any other kids that said they seen her on the floor too? Because another thing that don't make sense is that they never questioned the teacher. Old Wolf, nobody ever questioned her. She didn't know until it was time to go to court. That just don't make no sense to me. And let me finish reading this right quick though. So instead, according to officials, only the other alleged victim named in the report was questioned because CPS only listed her under the victim header. You know what? I mean, did they not read the full report? Are they not the police that you get a report, you read it in full, and whether it's under the victim column or not, you can read it and see that they are that? Like, that's ridiculous to me. Wow. So because they didn't put it under the victim column, the victim header, even though ZIYAH was identified as being inappropriately touched, but when questioned by the officers, denied any wrongdoing. Of course he did. He has maintained his innocence since being charged. Of course he did. He gonna always say that. But y'all got a record to show what he do. Y'all got prison records to show time he served for this. They didn't protect these kids, and it's really disgusting. It makes zero sense, said Tom Berry, a retired police lieutenant. Either DPD didn't read it or they didn't comprehend it. That's my opinion. I'm going to say they didn't pick it up and read it at all. They ain't do nothing. Did they run it through an AI system or just read it for them and just told them that? I don't know. Was they like Wolf, how he was even on the stand? If he could be like that, and I know that Wolf guy was the guy at the school, but still, he was on the police force for 20-some years or 30 years or something, and he was just like, I was gone, I was leaving. So talking about the guy that from the school that got it first, so he was real lazy with it and didn't do a damn thing. So maybe that's just how the police work there in Detroit. So Barry reviewed the LIN for 7 News Detroit, saying that it was clear the alert mentioned at least 2 possible victims by name and made reference to a third. So they had not just a report, but they also had this LIN thing where they put it in there. So somebody dropped the ball. No, somebody didn't pick it up. And it's clear by reading that there is at least 2 allegations of the essay there. So Fitzgerald makes no excuse for what happened and says that much has what need to change is whoever got that report, they should be fired. Seriously, because somebody lost their life and she ain't coming back. She is not coming back because of this mistake. I mean, not to mention the people in the house who knew about the report. If they didn't look, we know they knew about it all. But you got all of this information to say that they knew it. I'm trying to figure out why they ain't behind bars yet. So they said today, regardless of who CPS identifies under the victim header, Fitzgerald says DPD interviews everyone identified as being abused. He pointed out that the original complaint lacked complete information, such as ZIYAH's last name or her address. So they didn't put her, okay, so whoever wrote this report must be working with Annette, because it sounds like to me, if her last name wasn't put on there and her address, that was on purpose. They didn't want them to know that she was a Harris, and they didn't want them to know she lived there with the Harris mama, who has other CPS kids that shouldn't even be around a person like him. So who wrote the report, whoever came out to the house was being deceptive. That's what I believe. What? He pointed out that the original complaint lacked complete information, such as her last name or her address. That's crazy. So whoever got the report, why didn't they call the Harris people and ask what was the last name? Because it was missing information. But they acknowledged that we could have found rather quickly who this young lady was, and she wasn't a lady. It was a kid. Had the department investigated. Yeah, you know what they did? They did what they do to every case they get when they see a black face. They throw that shit to the side and keep going, keep eating their donuts. It's a horrible excuse, Fitzgerald said. We still should have done what we should have done. Relatives of ZIYAH say they are distraught to learn that the department was warned as early as 2022 that butts had been essaying her. Yeah. The fact that they acknowledged it shouldn't have worked this way. And it took something so tragic for something to happen to her, said Kiwana Morton, a relative of ZIYAH. You're damn right. It shouldn't have worked that way. They should have did their job. Kiwana said she too filed a complaint with CPS concerning butts and wondered if the 13-year-old's fate might have been different had the police ever reached out to her. Man, whoever wrote that damn report did this on purpose. For real. Whoever, so it was CPS that wrote CPS. So if you think about it, Annette has a relationship with CPS. The worker who came out, everybody know Annette. They've been wrapped up in CPS for a long time. And even if they not looking at that, they they know her. They know the family. They're probably good friends. Like, because She probably get emergency kids and all kind of stuff, right? So water department said it is more responsive to alert like the ones that named ZIYAH in 2022. Water department. What the hell is going on here? Hold on. Why did that just black out? That is crazy. I guess my phone said, look, you taking too long reading this article. We gonna move along. I don't think so. And it literally kicked me all the way out. Jury selection October 6th. Okay. I've been out the loop the last month. When is the trial? Okay, yeah, thank you, Alma. Roxy said when she went looking for ZIYAH on the other end of the bridge, she found the bag with her shoes and a jumpsuit in it. How do we know if she wasn't the one who put it there? Yeah, I remember them saying that a while back that now I did recently hear her in an interview talking to somebody, and I did hear her say that she found the shoe. She didn't know the clothes, she didn't know any of that stuff was hers. But so in the beginning, before Roxy really I heard Mark say it first, and it's actually in one of my videos. And Mark explained that whole situation. They were the ones to find the clothes. I mean, they were the ones to find the shoes. I remember it. I remember that being said. I believe them. I mean, I don't think that would be crazy to lie, but it was said early on in the beginning because it was another guy that actually recorded it after they had left. And I heard her say that they was waiting for like 3 hours. She waited for like 3 hours and they never came. But what I heard Mark say is that he was with the police. He was on live, and the police were in a certain area looking. They wanted Mark to go away, so they told him to leave and go somewhere else, pretty much. So Roxy called him at the same time, and he ended up going over there where she was at. And they both seen the shoe, but they didn't know that it was ZIYAH's shoe at all because it did not fit the description. And that's the other crazy part about this case. Like, they told her she had on one thing, and then they changed it. So the clothes are different than what the family said she was had on. So how can you just say that this was ZIYAH? These were her clothes. That wasn't what they said she had on. So to me, like I said, it's not enough solid information. It's not solid at all to me. I mean, not what they've told us so far. Let me go to this, since I don't know what the heck, what is going on here. Okay, let me play this one. And I'm going to look back at the comments, y'all.
Did Detroit police miss a chance to save the life of ZIYAH Harris? Records uncovered by the 7 investigators tonight show that they did.
Nearly 2 years before ZIYAH went missing, police received a warning involving the man now accused in her murder.
And tonight, DPD says they messed up. 7 investigator Ross Jones reveals what went wrong and what's changed as a result.
Mr. Butts targeted and befriended women who had to have sexual relationships with their young daughters. He was a classic and expert groomer and pedophile.
On the same day, Jarvis Butts would be accused of killing and sexually abusing 13-year-old ZIYAH Harris. Police and prosecutors urged the community to protect its children at all costs.
But when it comes to our children, we must be deliberative, we must be diligent, and laser focused on their safety.
We make strong and good decisions for our children, keep them out of harm's way.
But more than 20 months before Harris ever went missing, Detroit police had been warned that she'd been victimized by Jarvis Butts and failed to ever investigate.
There was enough for the department to ask about ZIYAH.
Yeah, we could have done better. No question.
Last month, we showed you that Jarvis Butts had been the subject of multiple complaints to Children's Protective Services, including at least one that named ZIYAH Harris as a victim. What we did not know at the time is that CPS wasn't the only agency who'd been warned. In April of 2022, in response to a complaint CPS had received, workers there submitted a law enforcement notification, or LEN, to Detroit police. It's an alert to possible criminal behavior that may warrant a police investigation. In this case, the complaint told DPD that there was an incident at a birthday party where a child accused Butts of sexual abuse. ZIYAH, and name withheld, reported that Jarvis touched them inappropriately as well. It read, Jarvis is a sex offender and a felon. ZIYAH's great aunt, Jernell, says she filed that complaint with CPS that ultimately made its way to DPD.
They're the police. They're supposed to investigate. I mean, it had all the everything is there.
But the department never did investigate, at least with respect to ZIYAH. Instead, according to officials, only the other alleged victim named in the report was questioned because CPS only listed her under the victim header, even though ZIYAH was identified as an abuse victim too.
Does that make any sense to you?
No, makes zero sense. Either they didn't read it or they didn't comprehend it. That's my opinion.
Tom Berry is a retired Detroit police lieutenant who reviewed the report that bears ZIYAH's name.
How many victims do you see identified there?
I see 2 for sure, maybe 3. Somebody dropped the ball. It's pretty clear by reading that there's at least 2 allegations of sexual assault there.
Her name was right in the report. At a minimum, the department should reach out to her and at least ask if something happened. But that didn't happen.
It did not.
Today, Assistant Chief Charles Fitzgerald makes no excuses, saying much has changed with how the department handles the more than 5,000 LEN reports it receives every year. Unlike when the ZIYAH complaint came through, he says DPD now interviews everyone identified inside, regardless of whether they're listed under the victim header. Complaints are triaged and are assigned quickly, and missing information, like in this case, ZIYAH's last name, is ferreted out by investigators.
It's a horrible excuse. We still should have done what we should have done.
The fact that they acknowledge it shouldn't have worked this way, and it took for something so tragic to happen to her, you're damn right it shouldn't have worked that way. They should have did their job.
Huana Morton is one of ZIYAH's relatives who says she filed complaints with CPS too. She wonders tonight if the 13-year-old's fate might have been different had police ever bothered to reach out.
Somebody has to answer for that. They absolutely do. CPS and DPD.
I think the obvious question that a case like this begs is how many other victims or alleged victims in reports like this were named but never contacted by DPD.
Yeah, prior to the recent process, I don't know. I would hate to speculate even.
Do you worry that there are other cases like this?
Of course, yeah, for sure.
I don't think it stopped in one child sliding through the crack. They clearly weren't doing their jobs.
We don't know, of course, what ZIYAH might have said to police if she'd been interviewed. The other alleged victim who was questioned made no disclosures of abuse. Jarvis Butts denied he touched anyone when questioned by police, and he has maintained his innocence since being charged. But by not asking the question, you know she couldn't possibly have said something was going on, and that's what haunts the family and will haunt the family, I think, for a very long time.
Well, of course, trust's so hard when the system fails you, you know.
And to see their names in a report 2 years earlier is frightening.
And if they're saying that procedures have changed, certainly our hope is that fewer people will fall through any cracks.
Yeah, what changed? I mean, come on, man. Just regular work, regular, just doing your job. They can't even, they're not even competent enough to read a freaking report. Shout out to Goddess, like she got it dang near just right. What he said, I think that is exactly what he said. So, pertaining to the fingernails that ZIYAH had on, that came up in his interview, and what he said is, Goddess said, yeah, he said she was getting into nails and stuff, and the grandmother wasn't having it, so she had to work and earn it. Yep. And he was like, well, why not give it to her? Well, she earned it. She wanted it. She earned it. Like, it just sounded disgusting. Thank you, Goddess. Welcome in, everybody. Thank y'all so much for being here. So another thing I want to know, if she was so-called bought up. Okay, I read that one. Okay, so let me see. Let me cover this up right quick. So let me know what y'all hear in this video. We gonna listen. I'm gonna turn the music all the way down so we can make sure that we hear right. Another thing I know that Roxy has been arguing with everybody about, just defending herself basically, and people kind of slighting her because they said that she didn't know ZIYAH and she wouldn't know her if she seen her, and she must have forgot about this picture herself. But I happened a long time ago, I was looking through I think it was one of their pages. I was looking through their page and came across this picture, and it's actually on my thumbnail, but that's Roxy right there, and that is ZIYAH. And this was 2011. And 2011 was their high school graduation, the twins graduation, because I seen these pictures too. Let me look right here. This would have been a lady. ZIYAH was born in 2010. So that's what lady was looking like back then. You know what? Why I'm going? Well, let me finish this. But I noticed some other stuff too. And I'm like, well, let me just show these why I'm here. So there's Roxy again. She was there. She did see ZIYAH, but she obviously don't remember her. But I mean, it's her family. So whether you know them perfectly well or not, like it's still your family, And yeah. So I seen that. And then of course this picture has been circulating, them having a good old funky time at the bowling alley. I mean, they ain't bothered. They totally unbothered, having a really good time, look like it, with her mouth wide open. It's nothing but smiles, They ain't worried about nothing. Then I was just going through some more stuff. I see that this is Kenya. She had posted this, talking about, I guess her and Shannon. This was back in January of 2023. So that's after, even after the CPS reports was put out. They on Facebook talking about it. Like, this is crazy. They just didn't do nothing. And then I thought that it was that January 7th, just 2 days and a year before ZIYAH went missing. Right? She went missing January 9th, 2024. And this is January 7th, 2023. And she's arguing with Shannon. He not what? He not what? And he don't look like a young girl. And he don't like young girls. How old is he? 1982. You was born. He was his first wife divorced him because he did this to his daughter. And I guess, yeah, his daughter or her daughter or their daughter, I'm not sure. But she said his daughter. He got his ass beat by some little girl family member because he was, yep. So, it's record of the things that they were saying. So, like I said before, I don't blame the family. Hell, they speaking out. They told in 2022. They probably thought wasn't else. I mean, you told. What more are you supposed to do? This is Cordell Wright King. This is a picture the day before ZIYAH went missing. He pointed out that he work out at the gym and all this stuff. He also knock out pregnant women, allegedly, because that's what he was locked up for. You got them big guns for what? To defend yourself against a pregnant woman? I don't respect that at all. I don't. But as far as his record, I don't believe that his record is an accident. I do not believe that this stuff is by any type of an accident on this man's record. Because like I pointed out before, y'all see that date on there? It says his court date was November 1st, 2024. I don't know if y'all remember me saying that Cordell, his court proceedings was in November. Everybody was watching it at the same time, but I remember looking at the date because I noticed that it was 2 months prior to the preliminary hearing. So I don't shoot. I don't know if I'm gonna be able to find, but yeah, I remember it said November something, but I don't know the date. But so anyway, as you can see, those charges are on his record. The same ones that Jarvis has. And I don't know what Roxy said that she asked about it because she seen it too. And they said that it was an accident. I don't believe in coincidence. He went to court in November. So what's really going on, y'all? What do y'all think about this? Let me see what y'all saying. What, he has kids with both of them is crazy. Hey, Chocolate, welcome in. What you think? What do y'all think? Do y'all losers, him and King both? Exactly. So do y'all think that this got to be accurate? I don't know why they keeping it a secret. And if he was charged with the same thing, why wouldn't it be on the news? Like another person, a second man has been charged with her. You know what I'm saying? Like, I don't understand what's going on here. So, hello, what's this about? Stick around and find out. Okay? So I'm gonna play the video that I was supposed to have been already played, but I don't think that is I don't believe in coincidence, y'all. So this is what I guess I could drop this down. I wanted to play this video with Roxy, and then I'm gonna go back to the pictures. Cause my mouth was on the flow when I heard this, cause I was like, Now listen, I have not said nothing bad about Roxy at all. I mean, I respect what her, Janelle, and Kiwana did, and I understand why everybody feel the way that they feel. I really do. But this right here, I know what I heard. Now listen, y'all tell me what y'all hear. We all heard it. Where is it at?
Or did she not say when y'all was having that conversation inside the house that Naziyah was pregnant or she gave two pregnancy tests?
She was not talking about Naziyah. She was talking about herself.
Who was the other girl?
She was talking about being pregnant with Janiyah, which is her oldest daughter.
She did a pregnancy test for being pregnant with her oldest daughter.
She's done a pregnancy. She's done a pregnancy test or a maternity test on all of her children.
At that point, her oldest daughter was like why? Was she comparing it to her oldest?
We were not talking about Naziyah at that point. People just wanted to hear what they heard, and they took off with it. She said she was pregnant with Naziyah. She said Naziyah was pregnant. She said that's not what she said.
That's not how it went at all. I never. This is when I found out I was pregnant. I took a pregnancy test, and I asked her how I'm pregnant. I said it seemed too long for one state. Yeah. So
who is her?
Yeah. So I'm going to the pregnancy test.
Who is she and her?
You know, who is she? I don't want to be the parent.
Or did she not say when y'all was having that conversation inside the house that Naziyah was pregnant or she gave?
Get the hell out of here. So, okay, like I said, she talks confusing. She started out saying that it was her, right? Then the she and the her, baby, that takes it away from you. So who's stupid? Like, what? I'm sorry. I don't care what nobody say. She said what she said. And it goes right along with the text messages between Naziyah and Jarvis, telling her to go get another test. She was telling him to go get one. You know, I mean, yeah. What y'all think? They both was pregnant at the same time. Now, I know, well, yeah, they were, because I had heard that Shannon was pregnant and she had a miscarriage. That's what I heard. Now, I do know that she had a baby the day before. She had a child the year before. She had what was it, January 26th of 2023? And then she got pregnant again, and I guess she lost it, because I remember Janelle saying in her interview after the preliminary hearing that she said it was almost 6. And I wondered what she meant about that. Was before I was all into it like that. What? Shannon is awful. Yeah, so what did y'all hear? Did y'all just hear, do I need to play it again? Like, I don't, let me see. Detroit, show up and get this handle, period. So why would she say that? That was a blatant lie. And then she said that, that was a blatant lie, because I'm hearing what she said. I didn't add, subtract, or nothing. I slowed down her voice when I slowed it down in certain parts. Please get the likes up. Thank you for coming through, BFF, because I have not looked at the likes yet. Y'all, please smack the thumbs up. I don't know why y'all like to watch me so much from the bushes, but at least hit the thumbs up, y'all. She was talking obvious about ZIYAH. Right. But so I just feel like they try to throw curveballs with conversations, because the way she was talking, she was stumbling all over her words. I'm gonna play it one more time, y'all. Like, I can't believe it. Like, no, she wasn't. If she was talking about herself, she would have never said she and her. She would have never said that. So she should be in an interrogation room explaining this to the police. That's what she need to be doing. Like, and they didn't take them kids for nothing. So they gonna go down. They going down. It's gonna be slow though. It's gonna take a minute, but all this, like, I don't care what nobody say. I heard what I heard.
Did she not say when y'all was having a conversation inside the house that ZIYAH was pregnant, or she gave pregnancy tests?
She was not talking about ZIYAH. She was talking about herself. Who was the other girl? She was talking about being pregnant with Janiyah, which is her oldest daughter.
She did a pregnancy test for being pregnant with her oldest daughter.
She's done a pregnancy. She's done a pregnancy test or a maternity test on all of her children.
At that point, her oldest daughter was like, why? Was she comparing it to her oldest?
We were not talking about ZIYAH at that point. People just wanted to hear what they heard, and they took off with it. She said she was pregnant with ZIYAH. She said ZIYAH was pregnant. She said that's not what she said.
That's not how it went. At all. This is when I found out I was pregnant. I took a pregnancy test and I asked her how I'm pregnant. I said it's C2 lines for one state. Yeah. So she So I'm going to the pregnancy test. This is weird. I don't want to be the parent.
Or did she not?
It didn't even make sense that she started out the conversation talking about herself and instantly went to she and her. No, she lying. That's crazy. Now, and then why would you go talking about a 10-year-old? Like her child, why would you even say the oldest and not the youngest that she had more recent? That right there threw me. That threw me. I asked her, seen 2 lines and one was faint. Okay. I asked her how far. I thought she said, how far are you pregnant? Or, that's what it, but why would she even start that conversation with herself? This is when I found out I was pregnant. Like, what do that was the only part that was about her. And the rest of the conversation was about ZIYAH. There's no context for what Roxy is talking about. Not at all. And it don't make sense that Shannon started it off with herself. Now, I don't understand. That's my first time ever hearing a lie like cuz okay, I followed her when she was on the Mark D's channel. I was back then listening to all that stuff. After all the mess got involved, after the fallout and all that, I haven't been following that stuff. I mean, I've been seeing it, but I haven't put none of that on my page, nothing. And so I think I said something like I mean, all of their positions are important. Everything that they did was important, but I understand that Jernell and Kiwana, they did it the way they wanted to do it. They reported it. They've been working with the police. They said everything was done as far as with the police already. You know, they was listening to them, plus not wanting to be on TV, because when they first interviewed, their first time coming out, their backs was to the camera and their voices was distorted. When Roxy came and all the arguments came, that was one of the things that Roxy was using, saying that they didn't want to talk about it. They didn't want to put their name out there. They were scared and all of the stuff she was saying. So she wanted to, it wouldn't have never got as big as it did if she wouldn't have got out there and presented it to the world, because people in Detroit knew about it, but the world didn't know about it. So me as a content creator, I feel like it's important for everybody. It's very important for family to speak out, because family is who people will gravitate to, believe. Well, not necessarily believe them, but they definitely gonna gravitate to the family, the information that the family is putting out, and that's gonna hold more weight. It's very important to get social media involved, because that lights a fire under law enforcement, believe it or not. And I know if y'all been following crime, y'all know that, because it's power in this here social media. It's funny because the other day I was watching something and TikTok, a couple people found some folks that unalived this guy, and they was eating at a restaurant. Somebody on TikTok noticed it, went back to the video and was like, this is them or whatever, and got them arrested. So it's so important. Welcome in, Sherry. How you doing? Why he not charged for the baby too? Because they don't have a body and they can't say how far she was. And so they can't say, you know, without a body, that, you know, they could go by the text messages, but that's not proof. They would need to have a test, some type of blood test to say how far she was to charge her. Because I mean, I don't know what age they consider it from a fetus to a baby, you know, because it's a certain you got to be pregnant a certain amount of months for it to be considered a baby. But so that's why they didn't even mention it, because it ain't no proof that she was even pregnant besides those text messages. And so it would be great if they could find her, you know. But I've been questioning it from the beginning, like, how much evidence? It don't seem like they have enough evidence to say that she is no longer with us, from what we know. So one of the things I wanted to go over is the forensic scientist information. It's probably about 20 minutes or something. I want to go over what she talked about to see what we can gather. I'm just trying to understand what else do they have. The stuff they showed us, that is just, it ain't enough. Wait, I ain't even got it.
Take pictures of the front and back of the exterior. If it's a clothing item, front and back of the exterior, and in this case, front and back of the interior, which is on a further slide. But this here, the top left picture, is the front exterior as if it was worn. So that would be, if you were looking at the person wearing it, that would be the front.
Okay, so this is my thing. Like, nowhere was this bodysuit in the description of her clothes. So, I mean, to me, they got a weak case when it come down to these clothes because okay, look at these little specks, but y'all telling us that she's no longer with us? Where did these specks come from? Whose clothes are these? Who identified these clothes as being hers? It's just not enough, and they don't want to mess up this investigation. When did they say she had on a jumpsuit? Her clothes. Number one, the family caused confusion with the clothes that they said she had on. They said blue and white Nikes. As a matter of fact, the picture that I had of her on the bus, this was the original stuff that they said. So if your screen is not big enough, you just have to hit the X to make it bigger. But yeah, this is what they said, and of course I can't even see it. Oh, let me go on the other side. Maybe I can see it. Or maybe not. Okay, so it says here she had on, first of all, I don't believe she 130 pounds, 5 to 130 pounds, medium complexion. She didn't look like herself to me. Like, if she was so miserable at school, why is she smiling right there? That's what, I mean, that it just don't nothing match. But anyway, so nowhere does it say she had on no pink jumper. Nothing. Did those jeans have a hole in the knee? I wonder. So braided, okay, so she had she's medium complected, hair braided into 2 puff balls, wearing a light blue jean shirt. And look at that. Do that look like a light blue jean shirt? Okay. So light blue jean shirt, blue jean, light blue jeans, pants, pink and white Rugrats coat with fur around it, blue and white Nikes. Where's the pink jumpsuit? Like, how can they just pin that pink jumpsuit on her? And then look how little evidence is on it. I mean, it might be hers, but do that suggest that she's no longer with us? Those little specks? No, it ain't enough. Not to me. Like, I mean, I want it for her, but if this was one of my loved ones, I wouldn't be settled with this. Like, what? This could have came off of somebody's hands. Somebody, I don't know where it came from, but it don't look like she was unalive with these little tiny specks. But anyway, let's keep going.
And the bottom right picture is a close-up of the top half.
And if we could go to slide 10. And we're looking at the 10th slide, starting with the top left. Can you tell us what we're looking at there and what is listed underneath that top left part?
The top left is the front exterior again, as if worn, and this was after testing, after pheno testing. And the one on the bottom right is a closer look at the top portion, I guess from like shoulder to torso of the garment.
And you have some words inputted on the top right indicating that there was pheno negative testing on this portion of it?
Yes, that was the key to, so when the viewers such as yourself would look at this photo and see the pH-N, that's our way of saying this was a negative stain and keeping track of the stains that I did test. So the pH-N means pheno neg.
Okay. And can we go to slide 20?
I definitely believe that it's a possibility that she had clothes in her bag, but was that proven? I just wonder. So Demetrius said she had the pink jumpsuit and shoes in her book bag because they told her they were running away, or he told her they were running away. I didn't hear that part. I didn't hear nothing about them, a text message that they was running away or anything like that. But I mean, are you just using that as a scenario? But even if she did, how are they proving that those were her clothes though? Did her family say those were her clothes? Like, we can't believe them, period. Like, so who identified those clothes as being Naziah's just because that was on her clothes? And why was she wearing those clothes if she had on something else before? Why would she even change her clothes from what she had on? I mean, or could somebody have just brought those clothes from home and just said, let's do this and that, and it's shady. It reads that a plant. You know what I'm saying? They planted something. Demetrius Cross hit me up. Who's phenotype though? Okay, let's see.
Sorry, one back. And I want to focus on the bottom right photo here. What are we looking at in the bottom right of the 19th slide in the PowerPoint?
The bottom right photo is where the positive phenol stain was located. This would be the interior back portion of the item. So like inside here, I don't know if you can see, but like it will be interior inside I flipped it inside out to test those stains.
Okay, so what we're looking at here in the bottom right, that's inside out, so that's why we can see what would be the tag.
The tag, correct, yes.
And now, could we go to slide 20? And this says on here, PH-POS, does that stand for positive?
Positive, yes.
Okay. And so that area on the inside of if it was inside out, that area tested positive. Correct. For the possible presence of blood.
Correct.
Okay. And did you do the same sort of PowerPoint for the black hoodie that we tested or that we talked about earlier as well?
Yes, I did.
And do those pictures that you took, were they put into a PowerPoint similar to this one?
Yes. And
do those pictures in the PowerPoint fairly?
Can y'all please check and make sure you hit the thumbs up? We got 90 people in here and only 54 thumbs up. Can you double tap the screen of thumbs up or hit the 3 dots to the side? Possible presence. I do know one thing. All the riffraff with the family is too much. We need justice for Naziah for real. Don't you agree? Yes, I do. That's why I don't focus on that stuff, because I'm all about evidence, facts, truth. And definitely justice. Naziah had enough BS in her life, and I just feel like is really disheartening. But I can tell y'all that I see this a lot. I've seen it enough, and it's like, I mean, dang, we can't even work together in peace to get justice. Everybody hollering about who did it first and who. I understand that Jernell and Kiwana was the ones that brought it to Mark, or Jernell went to school with Mark, so she gave it to Mark, but she didn't want to be on the show. She was trying to protect her home, her job, and all of the stuff, and they've been doing some real wicked stuff towards each other. So it's just really disheartening, because at the end of the day and the beginning, it should just be about Naziah. But you get egos in the way and all of that kind of stuff, and that's pretty much what's happening now. That's why I believe that they have more than they saying. They have to. Definitely. They supposed to tell us what evidence they have, though. Like, that's what I was thinking, though. Maybe they holding it. We know a lot of stuff is going to come out, but they're supposed to present everything that they got, from my understanding. And then just try to prove what they have, make it line up, make it make sense. But if the evidence they got ain't even matching the description of the last clothes she had on, I'm just confused. I guess it is a lot of stuff down here at the bottom that it ain't marked or nothing, but it still ain't enough. Like, not to say that she no longer with us. The stuff, and then the information that they told us, how they figuring out that she's no longer with us. I'm gonna read that too. That ain't enough.
Inaccurately depict your observations as your testing move forward of the black hoodie.
Yes.
Move to admit people's proposed 44, so we got a little mixed up with the numbers.
No objection.
It'll be admitted.
And permission to publish.
Well, shout out to Justice is a Process. That's the channel that we watching right now. I like the way he broke up his videos because they was hard to find at first.
And looking at the first slide of 44 that's on the screen, can you tell us this is just the same cover page?
Correct.
And going to the second slide here, what are we looking at here in this photo?
This will be the front of the black hoodie if worn.
And this is before, is this before any testing had been done?
Yes.
I want to go forward to slide 7. And what are we looking at here on slide 7 of this PowerPoint exhibit?
This is the hood area of the external portion, the external hood portion of the hoodie. I was trying to get accurate angles. That's why so many pictures, but.
Okay. And is this, again, just standard overview before any testing had been done?
Yes.
And if we can go to slide 8. And what are we looking at here?
This is the interior portion that would be in contact. Like if you pulled the hood over your head, it would be the area up here.
So you're looking at the inside of the hood that would touch the person's head that bore
Yes.
it. Yeah. And slide 9. What in this photo are we looking here, and has any testing been done at this point?
This is after testing. This is back to the front of the hoodie, plus obviously the sleeves. This is after ALS screening, which is alternate light source, which is used for screening for body fluids such as semen and saliva. I ALS the hoodie, and I marked those areas that had a fluorescence to them with a silver Sharpie, so I could further test after done screening. And IR, which is an infrared, is similar to, it's also an alternate light source, but it's more so for blood on dark items where the dark fabric would become lighter, and if there's blood or possible blood present, it would appear darker. That anything that I saw, I marked with a yellow paint pen with IR next to it, so I can distinguish between the ALS samples, the ALS areas that I saw and the IR areas that I saw.
Okay, and we see a lot of markings on the front of this hoodie.
Yes.
Are you able to tell us, and I know you said the color, but what portion of this is the IR versus the ALS? It may be easier for you to step down a little bit.
So the ones that I observed with IR, I actually wrote IR next to them. I don't know if that's visible on there, given how small the picture is, but other photos, I took pictures of certain areas. Yeah.
And if we could just go to the next, or if you could zoom in. And so, for example, that on the front, as we're looking at it, left side of the zipper, that's where IR illuminated?
Correct, where there's like where the icon, the hand, oh, it moved. Right there, and there's an arrow pointing to that large area, like those were areas that dropped out under IR, so I put IR next to it so I'll know what to follow up and how to follow up.
And that IR is to indicate blood, correct? It's not a test for blood, but it's
a screening tool used to locate dark stains that may be possible blood.
Okay. And if we could go to slide 20. And this is a closer view. Is this after you've done any other testing other than the light screenings?
Yes.
Okay, what testing was done at this point based on this photo?
This is after the pheno testing was done. This particular picture is reflecting a phenopositive area. And it was also screened with IR. As you can see right over the swabs there, it says IR. And that's what actually what led me to follow up with pheno was because I saw it under IR and it was pheno positive.
And where is this, if you're able to say, on that hoodie?
So this would be, if I was wearing it, it would be in this area, the upper shoulder,
And for the
bicep
record,
area. Yes.
For the record, the witness indicated to her.
Can y'all hit the thumbs up, please? I appreciate y'all being here, but the thumbs up is very important. So can y'all please smack that thumbs up by double tapping the screen? So let me look at some more stuff here. So, all right. So we know who we talking about. Let me move this comment right quick. I'm gonna go through a couple more. Dang it. And where is my music? Please subscribe and press that notification bell and thumbs up. Please subscribe and press that notification bell and thumbs up. Please subscribe and press that notification bell and thumbs up. Please subscribe and press that notification bell and thumbs up. Thank you for sharing. Thank you for sharing. Thank you for sharing. For sharing. For sharing. For sharing. Thank you for sharing.
What in the fuckity fuck kind of shit is this?
Wow.
I don't want nobody fucking with me in these streets. I don't want nobody fucking with me in these streets. I don't want nobody fucking with me in these streets. Ain't nobody got time for that. Ain't nobody got time for that. Ain't nobody got time for that shit. I don't want.
Hit that thumbs up. Okay. So thank you to the people that did hit the thumbs up. So let me go through a few pictures. This is Naziah's father. So we know that Naziah's mom and dad allegedly met working on houses. So I guess he was doing some of that in his last days. I don't know how old he was, but he definitely looks older than Naziah's mother. Because I believe she's 43. And then this is the picture, one of them, this is his sister that was on a stand. And I just wanted to put this in here along with this one because I talked about this, saying that she was around them at some point when the oldest was younger, like a 1 or just under 1 or whatever. Pointing out here that Roxy definitely been around ZIYAH. She must have forgot. But yeah, that was that. And then this was somebody that had posted about Vari, saying that one of my little bros is Naziah's big brother, and saying that he would get the grandma cook pretty much. The stuff that he know, the grandma and everybody else cooked. And so, yeah, so he knows stuff. He don't want to be responsible for getting his granny arrested, but he said put a circle around that auntie, and then he did a song about them, the twins, thinking that they slick. This was a message that I ran across. Roxy's mom again posted, I want to say in 2023. Let me see. I still can't see it because I got stuff blocking mine. Let's see. Any day now, I'm on the other side. Okay, so January 7th, 2023. So that was was that the same date? Yeah. Where's this? Let me go back. Then I noticed this one. And he actually responded. See what Kenneth said. Inga, you looking like a yeah, y'all see the word I had to black out or move out the way. Name Hector, and then he actually responded. Yeah, he do look like a freaking creep. Looking like he got on one of his women glasses since he wear everything of theirs, borrow everything. I'm sure that was one of his, probably Shannon's glasses. Such a loser. He couldn't be more of a loser. God dang. Then I ran across this. Somebody made this. What do y'all think about that? That was weird, right? That was different. And then I did this to show y'all, like, Vari was a kid too. You know what I'm saying? Like, he's a little, like, they were around at that point. What did he have to endure? He was fine up until Shannon moved in 2023, and then he was ready to go. How do you move in October of 2023 and she gone by January? Wow. All hell broke loose when she moved in. I'm talking about, we heard Shannon's boyfriend saying that he lived there at the house. Like, he lived with them at some point, and he said Jarvis would be over there all the time. Just too much going on at the house. Okay, let me get back to this video.
Right upper shoulder. Yep, right. Yep.
Oh, hold on, let me. So I had put this in here because I noticed something with this. You know, I had played a video with Florentino, the brother, and I noticed that he was in her pictures. This is old, but what is that? So this was 2007. Maybe going to a prom or something, I don't know. But I just noticed that Florentino helped her get dressed. You know, he was proud, looked like in this picture. He had everything to do with them getting dressed. Look at him. And I just thought I'd bring that up because I do have one video and we didn't have a face to put with that. Still don't really, unless you zoom in it. But now she said in court that she don't mess with her daughter. But they sitting there together right there.
You said shoulder. Are you saying that this picture was taken from the right shoulder area of the hoodie?
Correct. Like, I had to move the sleeve a little bit to get it in the picture with the ruler and the swabs, and it's like this area here.
Okay.
I call it the shoulder area.
We're going to look at slide 21. And again, can you tell us what we're looking at here? Then I'm going to ask you a couple follow-up questions.
So this is another phenopositive stain. This one is located on the rear of the sweatshirt, on the bottom right exterior of the sweatshirt.
And you had, in the last photo that we looked at, it said stain 20, and then this one says stain 28 in the text area of the slide. What is it? How do those stain numbers get assigned?
That is for my purposes, so I can keep track of how many stains I tested and what stains I tested. I know if I give it a number, it's just I start from number one and I just go. It's a tracking system for me, so I won't double test the stain, and because we report out the number of stains tested in our system, so that's for me to keep track of how many stains I tested.
And if you know, how many stains were identified on the black hoodie?
I can't recall offhand.
And going to slide 22. And what are we looking at here for this photo?
Those are the cartridges used in the HemaTrace test. As you can see, you read them per line. The first two only have the one line, that's the control line, which because there's no visible line in the testing area, it is a negative result. And the third through fifth cartridge have the double line, so those are considered positive results.
And that's for stains. The stain numbers are listed there, correct?
Correct.
And that's stain 20, 28, and 38 that were positive on the hemotrace test?
Yes.
Going to slide 23. And what are we looking at here in this photo? And at what point in your testing was this photo taken?
This was after pheno testing and the AP testing, which was the semen testing. And I put the key there because these are for the results that I wrote on the sweatshirt. So my tech reviewer and whoever's reviewing the photo would know what those meant when they saw them on the sweatshirt.
And you would agree with me that the majority of this sweatshirt is covered in your markings, correct?
Yes.
And going to slide 32 now. What are we looking at here in this photo in the 32nd slide?
This is the exterior of the hood towards the back of the hood. If you were wearing it, it would be like the back right of the hood.
And what testing is indicated on the back of the hood?
This was viewed with IR, and it was screened with IR first, and then I followed up with pheno testing in this instance.
And what was the result of your pheno testing on this area of the sweater?
So stain 37, which is at where the tip of the ruler is at the bottom, that was a very weak positive for pheno, and 36, which is upper towards my typing there, that was also a pheno weak positive.
And did you do any further testing with this section of the hood because of the weak positive, if you remember?
I don't recall offhand.
Now, you had mentioned earlier that you sent new swabs or went back and took new swabs to send forward for DNA analysis, correct?
Correct.
Do you remember what stain swabs numbers you sent forward for that analysis?
On this one, it was stain 20, which was the shoulder stain, and stain 28, which was the one in the rear of the sweatshirt.
I have one moment.
Yes.
Is there both of those stains 20 and 28 that you sent forward were pheno positive and hemotrace positive, correct?
Correct.
There was a third one, I think it was 38, that was also hemotrace positive and pheno positive?
Yes.
What's the reason you only sent 2 of those 3 forward?
I sent one from a representative area, which was the one from here and the one in the back. The other one, is available to be tested in the future if necessary, but I selected 2 of the stronger pheno positive stains, and they were hemotrace positive stains. I sent those 2 because they were from 2 different areas on the sweatshirt.
Okay. And
before you move on, you said here, for the record, can you indicate where she was pointing to?
Yeah, for the record, the witness indicated towards her right shoulder, and then the other area was from the back
rear. I can
right
stand
side.
if you need.
No, I just want the record.
Okay.
From the lower back right.
Yes.
In terms of the testing that you did.
So, in genetics, a phenotype refers to an observable characteristic or traits of an organism which are determined by interaction of its genotype, the genetic makeup, and the environment. So here are more details explaining the definition. Phenotype encompasses an organism physical appearance, behavior, and psychology properties. So genotype versus phenotype. Genotype refers to the genetic makeup of an organism, the specific genes of its carrier and its carried. Genotype is the observable expression of the genotype influenced by both genes and environmental factors. So examples of phenotype in humans: eye color, hair color, height, blood type, and even susceptibility to certain diseases. In plants is flower color, leaf shape, and seed size. Environmental influence, the environmental factor like diet, sunlight, and exposure to toxins can also affect an organism's phenotype. Examples of environmental influence: flamingos. While flamingos are known for their pink color, their natural color is white. The white hue is due to pigments in their diet. Then it says skin tone. While genes determine the amount and type of melanin produced, exposure to sunlight can cause darkening of existing melanin and encourage increased melogenesis, leading to darker skin. All right.
And your experience testing and doing blood screening and things like that, are you able to talk about the quantity?
So one more, the term phenotype refers to the observable physical properties of an organism. These include the organism's appearance, development, and behavior. An organism phenotype is determined by its genotype, which is the set of genes the organism carries, as well as by environmental influences upon these genes.
Quantity of results that you saw on this sweater at all? In terms of there being 38 swabs, at least 38 swabs, is that?
So in humans, phenotype examples also include earwax type, height, blood type, eye color, freckles, and hair color.
Normal in your experience that there'd be that much on there, or are you able to talk about that?
I'm not able to say because it varies from case to case.
Fair enough. And do you still have record number 8 up there? Or did I take it?
No, you took it back.
You indicated earlier that the 2 stain swabs that were sent forward were from stains 20 and 28, correct?
Correct.
And then going forward, they were labeled as ending in 5AD and 5BD.
Correct.
Are you able to tell which stain number corresponds to 5AD?
I would not be able to tell without looking at my notes.
With looking at your notes, refreshing memory?
Yes.
Then please do so and then look back up at me when you remember. Is your memory refreshed?
Yes.
What stain swab number that you gave it is 5AD?
5AD would be stain 20, which was the shoulder area stain.
And then 5BD would be 28?
Correct.
And that's the back right, lower back right side?
Correct.
Oh. I have nothing further, just thank you.
Them in mind in the interrogation room, they already know the answers to the questions that they ask. They just want to see how they lie or not. Okay, so I want to go back over his interrogation video while we hear Let me see what y'all saying. So what did y'all think about that? I mean, I don't think no different. It ain't enough. It ain't enough to say that she ain't with us. And it's some other stuff that I gotta look at, but no, this baby mother was not mentioned at all in anything. She has a 21-year-old son by Jervis. And also the house that Jervis was living at that they said they raided. He has kids with her too. Yeah, I did hear that he had kids with that lady. I think they said her name was Angel. A 21-year-old son by Jervis. The one that found her glasses. You talking about the baby mother whose car he used? Oh, okay. Blood types. And across the street from her, they make headstones, and where they found her school ID at is about a mile down from where the clothes were found. Anybody want to call in? Call in. Let me know what y'all talking about. You live in the area, Demetrius? So there's a call-in number if anybody want to call in and tell us anything that y'all want to share. Yes, Angel, and they did not interrogate her. What? Maybe she gonna be a witness. How do they not interrogate her? That's the house that he went to, allegedly. So I wonder if those are... I don't think I put it in here, but it was a couple pictures identifying some of the baby's mothers. And I did see an Angel. Angelita, and it's Angelito something. Yeah, I don't know. That's crazy if they wouldn't. I mean, I would think that they would have definitely searched her house. I don't know why they wouldn't question her too to know what she know. They said she denied the interrogation. I hadn't heard anything about her. I didn't know you could deny an interrogation. I know you could say if you want to talk with a lawyer or not, but if they want to talk to you, I thought you had to pretty much. We ain't talking about Trump right now, Jimmy James. But I'm glad to see you love Trump. Got the nerve to have so many kids. Just disgusting. Sick. Okay, so I'm going to go over this video right quick. Let's go.
They know. You got them together. They know what's going on. I have them together, but they know about each other. Okay.
So, the reason I asked you that, I'm not asking no questions I wouldn't have an answer to, so I'm just trying to understand something. So, this right here is a brief synopsis of ZIYAH's interactions with you and your phone number that you had since 2019. And so right here on the day that I'm concerned with, you see right here.
Don't forget to be there before. Yeah, that was when she sent it. I was supposed to pick them up that day, but I never responded.
You did.
What I did.
So then the next one, she responded.
And if you send the message,
so I can delete your number.
No, I don't. Like I said, they send me.
Hold on. Before you explain it, just look at the time. Back to back. And we in school. She in school. And then right here, it tells you to respond. Okay, that's you. That's received.
I did receive.
So and you said okay.
Yeah.
All right. Okay.
So those, like I said, those are the numbers they were sending me.
So okay. So yeah, that's what we saw. Okay. All right. So your original date was in what was your original date?
November the 20th, the day before my birthday of last year.
That's when it happened?
Oh no, when that case happened?
No. When did you supposed to get sentenced? Because we got 2 dates. We got a January date.
So what happened was, I was supposed to get sentenced last year, the day before my birthday.
Mm-hmm.
We went to court, whatever the case may be. They adjourned it to January the 9th.
That's the day we got.
Right. So I had a legal issue pending. And I asked to get it extended before I could take care of my legal issue in conjunction. That was January the 25th.
Mm-hmm.
So after that, then they scheduled it for February the 7th.
To go.
Yes.
So y'all see all them chances he got. It's like, I'm telling you, how can everything work out for these people like this? I'm talking about, it's like, y'all know that they be finding all kind of things going on in these schools. I feel like it's some person there helping. Maybe they got a person in every department, the police, the CPS, and the school system. Because how did this happen, man? You got the courts that helped it happen too, because they didn't lock him up. Like, this dude shouldn't have got no chances. And they reset his court date all the way from all the way from November. Twice in January. And then finally in February. Like, what? So y'all heard him. November 20th was his original date. Then they reset it to January 9th. Then reset again to the 25th of January. Then February 7th, he finally got locked up. After he done unalived her. Like, damn, was this his job to do before he got locked up? The hell?
All right, so what's your relationship with on the day to day? Like, are y'all have any interactions? Just y'all got a niece uncle relationship?
Yeah, we kind of like niece uncle, and I also get her and my daughter from time to time.
Your daughter who?
Janiyah.
How you spell it?
J-A. N-I-Y-A-H.
Janiyah what?
Butts.
Go ahead. How old is she?
16.
Black female, 16. Okay.
No, 16.
Oh, I thought you said you soft spoken, brother. Okay.
He ain't soft spoken at all.
Go ahead.
I get them from time to time. I do cleanups.
Okay.
Sometimes
But he do tell on himself.
At my old job, Frank says to have them come and clean up my office and my bathroom and stuff. Like, probably like twice a month, give or take.
Okay. And where's Frank's at?
That's on East 1 and F.
Did you pay him?
So she asked him, did you pay him? And when he explained this, it really sounds creepy, especially knowing what he did. It sounds just like that's what he doing. Paying him for something.
What's your password?
That's a facial.
It's a facial recognition? Yeah, it's a facial. So if you weren't able to use your face, you have a pen. What's that number?
04.
04.
1925.
I wonder what that symbol was.
Okay. So, all right. So, I need to know the last time you talked with her, okay, brother? All right. So, would you be willing to give me consent to do that real quick?
Shout out to TBC.
What type of phone you got? iPhone? What? Okay.
Yeah, I can't mess with iPhones. You looked at me like, what kind of?
J-R-P-I-S.
Yeah, I'm sorry, man.
We have a Javaris we work with.
Yeah, I work with.
Did y'all notice that Shannon Jones sound like a black woman in interrogation, but a white woman on the stand? Did y'all notice that? She talked. It's all game. All game. I definitely noticed that.
So we keep trying to spell his name.
All right, so iPhone, what color is it?
Glass.
Okay, it's glass. You said it's 11? And then your phone number 313-585-8719. Password is 041925. And
When the last time you
Me
used
either,
that phone?
goddess.
Right before I got locked.
Okay.
Matter of fact, the morning before I turned myself in.
Okay. Did you cut the phone off or is it still on?
No, I turned it off. It's still on as far as company wise.
Company wise, right? Okay. Where did you leave the phone?
It was actually with one of my girlfriends, man, because she took me. She bought me.
Yeah, this the part the judge was just like, I'm disgusted. You in there laughing like, yeah, like, oh, he was having a good time. Now you just imagine him with his friends that he thought that was funny. Like, you stupid.
Man, I can't understand. Hold on, I heard you say baby mama, 13 kids, fiance. You live with who do you live with? That's the fiance. And you got a girlfriend.
Yeah.
Okay, player. One of the 5 heartbeats?
No, ma'am.
Okay.
He just said he lived with the fiance. Ain't the fiance Tatiana, like he don't live with her? He only there from 9 p.m. to 2 a.m. There when he come and dark when he leave. Like, no, he leave. He comes while it's dark and he leave before the sun come up. Equals it's dark when he there. And yeah, that's just crazy. But he lived with another woman, and that ain't his fiance unless he engaged to 2 people. Who knows?
Okay.
Who knows where he live at for real? He just lay his head wherever he decide to fall asleep at. But I guess that's home base. He used that one for the hotel and all that to check into room 69. And we don't believe in coincidence. So he probably, yeah, let me get my user room, 69. Ha ha ha. He's such a player. Stupid ass.
I actually used it before I went to sentencing.
Okay. So she had your phone? She had your phone.
From my understanding, the police have my phone.
Now, who did they get it from?
Her.
We asked because we don't know this info.
From my understanding, they conducted a raid on her house.
Okay.
Why are they raiding her house?
I don't know. That's the same thing.
But she had the phone.
But the phone was in her possession.
Okay.
So,
and that's where you left it when you got locked
in
up.
my jacket in the car.
Okay.
Yeah.
What type of car? What color?
Tan.
Okay, I'm gonna go check.
Is that your car or her car?
Hers.
Oh, okay. Okay.
Probably at 1 hour, 24 minutes, and 50 seconds.
So this actual interrogation is on the 15th of February, 2024 at 2:37. Now, this she's the lead investigator. She said that she was asked to review the case on February 12th. They went in and talked to King on February 13th, and they already knew about the phone. I mean, he told them about the phone. They retrieved the messages from the jail calls. So why they in here talking to him? They already know all this stuff.
Snacks, whatever the case may be. And I know she was getting older, so she was into certain things. Like I come up, she had little fingernails and shit on.
Mm-hmm.
And I know grandma wasn't.
So why just not give it to her?
Earned it.
She earned it. And these is the fake nails he talking about that she had. Because they really stuck out to me too, because I don't recall seeing her with nails in none of the other videos. And they white, so I wonder if she still had those nails on. Let me see. But who knows? Like somebody else said, shoot, they lying up at the school. Maybe she wasn't even there that day, since none of the other kids allegedly went to school. But that's not what the grandmother testified. But yeah, she didn't have no nails on here. Nope, she didn't.
Okay, so that's what I'm saying. So the value, so your mentor came in. So you mentor. Would you talk to them about anything? Or?
Depending on certain other things, I would ask them how school would be. Nothing serious, like I say. I wouldn't pay too much in family business. That'd be my thing. But like I said, everything that you had to do, you had to earn it.
Okay.
Y'all hear that?
You wanted something, earn it.
Mm-hmm.
You appreciate it more. So that was my whole thing on that. So me, I used to just give it to them. Mm-hmm. They would take advantage. And every time I pull up, it's a lot of kids over there, so I can't keep giving.
Yeah, not
everybody $5, and that looks real bad if I just give you money every time you have asked for it, or she asked for it, and I can't give it to everybody else. So therefore, you guys want something, I got a job for y'all. If I have something for you to do, I'll call and let you know. Mm-hmm. Every time they come in, $25 a piece, depending on.
Mm-hmm. Okay. So.
Depending on what?
I'm gonna ask you about this area real quick.
Tell us more, sir.
Let me see that. Confirm that photo. Make sure we're talking about the same person.
Please smack that thumbs up, y'all, and subscribe to the channel.
What's her government name? ZIYAH. ZIYAH.
You know about when that picture might have been taken or where?
I don't.
Does she look like that last time you saw her?
Not at all.
What she look like the last time you saw her?
She had longer braids. She had long braids.
Any color in the braids?
Notice how he did his hair. Wait, hold on.
She was getting her hair did the last time I saw her.
Okay.
He lifted up his arms like her hair was, though.
Kids over there, so I can't keep giving.
Yeah,
But she asked
everybody $5, and that looks real bad if I just give you money every time you have asked for it, and or she asked for it, and I can't give it to everybody else. So therefore, you guys want something, I got a job for y'all.
I bet you do got a job for y'all. And we all know what that job is. And the way that he's explaining it, it just sounds creepy. And we know what he did, made them do for the money. So he's basically telling us what the deal was. And we already heard from Shannon. Let me play that.
No, that's not how it went at all. I did that. This is when I found out I was pregnant. I took the pregnancy test and I asked her how I was pregnant. I said, excuse me, I'm supposed to sleep. Yeah. So, yeah.
Yeah, we already heard that she knew what was going on. We sticking to that video own mouth. And now we hearing from him. So yeah, look at how he puts his hands up to his head when she's asking about her hairdo. Then he changes it to, oh, it was straight down or whatever he said. But when they first asked, he put his hands up to his head like two buns, like she had.
Have something for you to do. I'll call and let you know. Every time they come in with $25 a piece, depending on.
Okay.
Depending on.
So, all right. So,
he said $5 at first.
Actually, about this area real quick.
Loser.
Let me see that. Confirm that photo. Make sure we're talking about the same person.
That's ZIYAH. What's her government name?
ZIYAH.
ZIYAH.
You know about when that picture might have been taken or where?
I don't.
Does she look like that last time you saw her?
Not at all.
What she look like the last time you saw her?
She had longer braids. She had long braids.
Y'all see that? Y'all see that? See? I was trying to catch it before he moved it, but he did that. Then he changed it to it was long. No, it was two buns like you just had your hands.
Longer braids. She had long braids.
Idiot.
Any color in the braids?
Not that I know of. Matter of fact, I mean, she was getting her hair did the last time I saw her.
Okay.
So it wasn't even done, so I don't even know what it was. But
You talking about back and forth between the house? Getting her hair done?
Last time in the basement.
So she wasn't back and forth.
Okay, y'all see.
No, sweetie. He stayed next door. So she was going back and forth with him next door, but they were in the basement at the grandmother's house getting her hair did.
Now he talking about Devin, but I'm trying to think. Devin didn't say that he did her hair when he was in the interview. When he was talking to Mark, them I heard that from Jarvis that he did her hair. She was going back and forth with him next door, and I remember like him next door. I didn't even know what he was talking about, but this is what I was trying to get it to stop. So literally, he did his hands exactly how her hair was. I'm talking about. So he seen her the day before because he just said she was going back and forth with him next door. And he seen her the day of. All that. He just telling on himself. Tell us more, sir.
And forth with him next door, but they were in the basement at the grandmother's house getting her hair did.
Going back and forth with him next
1
door.
hour, 35 minutes.
See, I was confused. I'm like, who he talking about? And then I heard Devin. I said, oh, this must be he.
6 seconds.
In the basement getting her hair did. Where he used to be sneaking in at, allegedly sneaking. We all know he
Like,
wasn't
yeah,
sneaking.
1 hour, 44 minutes, 34
It's
seconds.
right around.
Okay, but not on the night though.
Not that I don't, like I said, not that I can recall. Okay. But you can ding my phone. I'm over there quite often.
See?
Okay.
He just told on himself.
Yeah, you can do some amazing things with these.
Look, he said he over there quite often, and when Annette on her testimony, she said he's very rarely over at my house. Oh yeah, well that ain't what Jarvis said, or his text messages.
These phones.
You can do some amazing things with these phones, and he over there quite often. That ain't what Annette said. Y'all ain't get y'all lies straight. I need to just let the recorded me talk, and I just chill for now. Okay, we listening. Allegedly. That ain't what nobody said.
No, I'm just trying to think about some stuff.
Okay, so when I was asking you about you had any contact with a text message or did anything with ZIYAH, you said that you didn't, that you don't have any contact with her like that at all. Because you can't think of any the last time that you talked to her.
Shout out to
Right
Brown.
off the top of my head, boss
man. Okay.
Boss man.
Oh. Were you supposed to meet her anywhere? ZIYAH.
Wait a minute, did he just lie? Hold on. Yeah, he lying every time his mouth is open.
Not at all.
He loves saying that not at all, baby.
ZIYAH.
That's
ZIYAH.
Not at all.
Oh.
Were you supposed to meet her anywhere? ZIYAH.
Not at all, boss
Okay. You can't think of any the last time that you talked to her?
man. Right off the top of my head, boss
So he just flat out told a lie that can be proven. Like, so he cooked, like I said, you don't know when you talk to her, but it's clear text messages of y'all meeting and all this stuff. Just stupid. Dumb.
You can't think of any the last time that you talked to her?
Right off the top of my head, boss man.
Okay.
Boss man.
Oh. Were you supposed to meet her anywhere? ZIYAH.
Not at all.
Not at all.
Not at all.
Okay.
Not at all. All lies. So what I was saying, I rode past the school and I was like, remember they said he stopped at the school while she was outside?
Yeah, 1 hour, 15 minutes.
Here it is.
4 seconds.
So he drove all up in here.
Fast and things like that. So
Girls.
Not accusing you of nothing, but some of the stuff like we can't just.
So feed me.
I gotta
boss.
ask you.
Feed me, boss. I can't.
So I just
do a lot. I do a lot.
Mm-hmm. So
you do
can you kind of help me out, like what went on this day, or point me in the right direction? I'm not saying wait. No, I'm not saying anything. What I'm trying to say is what happened. Like,
I can't tell you what happened. Like I say,
why would she be texting you at, and if he wasn't? I wasn't meeting, so if he's meeting.
I was supposed to meet them at the house.
It's okay to meet her.
Right.
So that's
Saying
okay.
that, her and my daughter.
So that's
I'm
one.
supposed to pick them up at that house, at their grandmother's house on Bedford.
Okay.
I say, from time to time, I had jobs for them, and I did tell them the day.
Let me see, because the location she didn't put at my grandma's house.
Yeah, they're supposed to be at because they got out of school at whatever time. I was waiting on my daughter to get out of school.
Mm-hmm.
I don't pick them. I don't pick one up without the other.
Where was he at waiting? Shannon didn't mention none of this in her testimony. He was waiting on his daughter to get out of school that day. Yeah. He got so irritated he told the damn truth. Let's hear that again. Stupid.
Put at my grandma's house.
Yeah, they're supposed to be at because they got out of school at whatever time. I was waiting on my daughter. From time to time, I had jobs for them, and I did tell them the day.
Let me see, because the location she didn't put.
What I'm trying to say is what happened. Like,
I can't tell you what happened. Like I say,
why would she be texting you at, and if he wasn't? I wasn't meeting, so he's meeting.
I was supposed to meet them at the house.
It's okay to meet her.
Right. So saying them, her and my daughter.
So that's
I'm supposed to pick them up at that house, at their grandmother's house on Bedford. Like I say, from time to time, I had jobs for them, and I did tell them the day.
Let me see, because the location she didn't put at my grandma's house.
Yeah, they're supposed to be at because they got out of school at whatever time. I was waiting on my daughter to get out of school.
Mm-hmm.
So if we wasn't sure that he talking about that particular day, she just confirmed it when she said, "Oh, well, she didn't put that at my grandmother's house." So how did the question before that, he asked you when was the last time you seen her, and he couldn't tell him, boss man. But 2 seconds later, he says this. Like, boy, I tell you, liars, boy, they get caught up, don't they? The truth don't change.
I don't pick one up without the other. Bottom line.
Hell, he said that like that's a good thing. Yeah, I pick them both up together. Yeah, for a trio, according to the testimony. You know, anyway, I ain't gonna even go there. Sick ass.
It wasn't.
Pausing at 1 hour, 51 minutes, and 54 seconds.
The lies he tell.
And I'm playing at 1 hour, 52 minutes, and 47 seconds.
Okay. Did she ever confide in you about like having any troubles with, with girls and with boys?
My grandmother knew about the situation she had with some girls. Like, supposed to get jumped on, something like that. I'm not sure, but they knew about that situation.
Yeah, so that's the situation that they went to report on the 11th of January when they decided to finally post that she was missing. They went and pressed charges on that girl. He know all about it, don't he? He probably had something to do with it.
Yeah, they knew about all that, boys. I'm sitting up here, man. I can give you consent to everything that I got.
So why would she tell you to delete? Why would she have to delete your number?
She wasn't talking about my number. She was talking about the number that she called me from. Like I said, they called from different numbers. The auntie, shit.
So right. So delete my number. No. So I can delete your number.
I can delete. I don't know why she would say my number though. Because anything that we do, like I said, it's always like that. And when they call me from text now numbers and all that bullshit, so I'm assuming she was sneaking when she said it. Like I said, I don't have no reason I had nothing.
He told on himself again, talking about sneaking. What child? What secrets y'all got that she got to be? You the sneaky link? Is you the sneaky link? See, they just all you gotta do is just listen to a damn liar. They gonna tell on themselves every time. I can't stand a liar. Or people like him.
My phone is what it is. Everything is.
Why she sneak?
I have possession of my phone. Take a look at it. Go through it. So I don't know what that's about. I don't know why would she say delete my number.
So you're saying that you didn't meet up, right?
I promise Jesus, I didn't meet up with that young lady.
Promise Jesus.
Write his ass down. Oh my God. He really sealed the deal with promising to Jesus. And then the dang man even repeated him like, oh, that's a new one. That's a new one besides the not at all and all the other lies you've been spewing. Like, boy, you cooked. Go on and tell us where she at.
We never got, like I said, she sent me that text message. I was supposed to pick them up. We never got a chance to anything because of
Lock his ass up. Lock his ass up. You going to jail. You going to jail. Lock his ass up. Lock his ass up. You going to jail. You going to jail. Lock his ass up. Nanny boo boo.
Man, this dude think he's smarter than everybody and he dumb as a box of rocks. He's sitting up here digging a hole for himself. That's all he doing. Y'all hear all these lies? Welcome in, TT. Y'all hear all these lies. Let's get back to it.
That you didn't meet up, right?
I promise Jesus, I didn't meet up with that young lady.
Promise
Jesus.
Yes, I promise to God, I didn't meet up.
Hey, did you just hear? He said, promise to Jesus, I did not meet up with that young lady. Sounding like Bill Clinton.
Forgot, like I said, she sent me that text message. I was supposed to pick them up.
We know
got a chance to anything.
We know Bill Clinton said, I did not have sexual relations with that woman. Ain't that what he said? Something like that.
He said, well, no, Ipsy. We were doing a job next night.
On the night?
That night? Yeah, we were doing a job. Mobile job. I don't know who the lady is.
He kind of paused a little bit like, wait a minute, they know about Ypsilanti? They ain't supposed to know about that.
Now I'm playing at 1 hour, 56 minutes, and 53 seconds.
Anything because He said, well, I know Ipsy. We were doing the job next night.
Young lady, sounding like Bill Clinton.
Forgot, like I said, she sent me that text message. I was supposed to pick them up. We never got a chance to anything because of He said, well, I know Ipsy. We were doing the job next night.
On the night?
That night, yeah, we were doing the job. Mobile job. I don't know who the lady is.
A mobile job. He kind of paused a little bit like, wait a minute, they know about Ypsilanti? They ain't supposed to know about that. Why you call it a mobile
Nine,
job?
playing at 1 hour, 56 minutes and 53 seconds.
She knew that she was supposed to be calling me.
Did you feel the mother or anybody that she had just listen?
Why did he call it a mobile job? Like, who says that? I ain't never heard nobody say that. That caught him off guard. Ipsy, yeah, we was doing a mobile job. Like, what? Interesting.
Who that she was supposed to be calling me?
Did you feel the mother or anybody that she had just listen?
I told my child's mother that she had texted me.
That day.
Yes.
To meet you.
Yeah, no.
Boy, I tell you, he's so stupid. Hold on.
Mobile job. I don't know who the lady is.
A mobile job. He don't know who the lady is. Now, when King's son's auntie was on the stand, she said that was the second or third time Jarvis done been up there because they fixed her car or the car in the garage or the driveway the first time, and they came out there another time, and then I think this was the third time that she was meeting him, and he talking about he don't know who she is. And we already know he know exactly who she is. They even talked to him, allegedly, according to the auntie's testimony, the next day. They talked to him, which would have been the 10th, because she said they was $70 short. So she had to get his Cash App and send $70. But he don't know who she is. Yeah. I wonder why he lied about that. See, he lied about Ipsy. Why you lying? Why you lying? He ain't even mentioned that before he was asked. Well, I guess you can't talk about what you ain't asked, but he could have elaborated. He was trying to say other stuff. He ain't mentioned nothing about that. And he kind of stumbled when they mentioned it to me.
He said, well, I know Ipsy. We were doing the job next night.
On the night?
That night, yeah, we were doing the job. Mobile job. I don't know who the lady is.
We was doing a job in Ypsilanti. No, that don't even, he lying. He's lying about Ypsilanti. The way he said that don't even add up. Why you say it like that? Why he didn't just say, yeah, we delivered a car we had just got finished fixing. You know what I'm saying? Like, he liked to tell everything else, but he didn't tell that. And there's something about that Ypsilanti trip. Like, I feel like because, you know, finding out that they had that car already there since the 4th or the 5th, according to the auntie's testimony, and they waited until the day that she was on the day that they did that. And so it was planned. It was all planned to do that. And then I was trying to figure out the other day, I was like, could they have had a car in Ypsilanti already? Yeah, they could have. Because at first I was like, well, I was picturing them all driving at the same time. No, it could have been a vehicle there waiting. Shannon do everything else for him. Hell. And then remember the lady said that he had her car and then she was expecting it back the same day, but he didn't come back to the next morning or something weird. Maybe he had her car just sitting out there. I forgot. Oh, it could have been any car. Hell, Shannon could have been out there waiting. It could have been any car. And his phone could have been put in the car, just like somebody said. Maybe his phone was in a car and somebody was just driving it around. Let's finish this.
He never got a chance to anything because of He said, well, I know Ipsy. We were doing the job next night.
Why did he pause? He paused before he answered. He lying.
On the night?
That night, yeah, we doing a job, mobile job. I don't know who the lady is.
See, he pausing in between, and normally he answered quick, a little bit quicker, because he liked to talk a lot. But he paused on that one. He kind of paused a little bit, like, wait a minute, they know about Ypsilanti? They ain't supposed to know about that.
9, playing at 1 hour, 56 minutes and 53 seconds.
She knew that she was supposed to be calling me.
Did you feel the mother or anybody that she had just listen?
I told my child's mother that that she had texted me.
That day.
Yes.
To meet you.
Yeah, no. She had texted me and I asked what number was this. She was like, I don't know. I gave her the number. She said she didn't know what number that was.
So
notice how he talks when he's talking about Shannon. Notice how his attitude got when he was talking like her. Like, no, I gave her the number. That didn't go though either. Let me hold on. The hell we talking about?
No, I gave her the number. She said,
no, I gave her the number. What? What are we talking about?
Yeah, no.
Hold on.
Text me.
That day.
Yes.
To meet you.
Yeah, no. She had texted me and I asked what number was this. She was like, I don't know. I gave her the number. She said she didn't know what number that was.
That don't make sense. She said, no, I gave her the number. See, he was still acting like he was talking about Shannon. That didn't make sense, though.
Yeah, no. She had texted me and I asked what number was this. She was like, I don't know. I gave her the number. She said she didn't know what number that was.
So you see that y'all had correspondence the day before on the 8th?
Yeah, from the same number. What does it say?
Yeah. So
it said, what are you doing?
All right, that's you.
That was me saying what I'm doing?
Yeah, she's saying that she actually you was at work and you responded, what you doing?
Yeah, what are you doing?
So y'all have back and forth conversation.
Not like that, boss. I mean, like I said, they called me when I have jobs, and I told you when they have my have jobs.
But I guess the way at the beginning of this, and again, I'm just trying to understand, though.
So I be trying to catch
I'm not. No, you waiting. Listen, bro. Again, at the beginning of the conversation, I asked, did you ever speak with her on the phone or text message? And you said that you either speak with the grandmother or you speak with your child's mother.
Or they call me and ask me and harass me, and I call the grandmother and let them know that.
What about when he asked when was the last time you talked to her, and you talking about I can't even tell you, boss man, and now we finding out you talked to her on the damn 8th. Just stupid. I cannot with these people.
They did that.
And here we having back and forth conversations one-on-one.
Okay, what is the conversation, boss?
The conversation is your ass is cooked. He is done. Like this dude. A liar gonna lie his way out of it, even if he on camera. I'm telling you. How you doing, Miss TT? I think we all know the answer to that. Yeah, doing a job. It depends. What could this man be doing for 2 hours at the river? His phone probably was just sitting out there while he was running around doing everything else. Like, I believe it was more than just him working. I don't know if Shannon was just somewhere sitting back. These phones are the tracking devices. If you leave them sitting at home and then you leave, they don't have a tracking device. He wanted to get that woman's car because it don't have a GPS system on it. Else he would have just drove the truck that he was in. So he knew what he was doing with that, which means, yeah, definitely they charged him with premeditated. It was calculated. It was planned. They knew exactly what they was doing. I'm still wondering where the front end of her car is sitting at, though, because we know that he ran into something when he had her car, and then it's just weird. I think that I do believe that they did something tricky with the phones. I've been saying that from the beginning, not believing that if he know it's a tracking device. I mean, why would you take the phone with you? That was the other part. He went all over town, like the house on Evergreen. I had looked that up on GPS, and I think I put a location in, and it looked like, let me see if I could find that right quick. No, that ain't it. But it was like an hour and something away. Some of those locations was very far. Well, not driving though. Driving it would be closer. But I truly believe that. I wonder where's her body at. I think like I'm sure they offered them some type of deal to say where she's at. Just tell where she's at. How the hell can't you call? Wait, how the hell can your own child harass you? ZIYAH, I can understand telling the granny, but your daughter, man, he don't separate them. No, look, they just like Shannon to him. You know what I'm saying? Like he don't separate it at all, is what it looked like. Welcome in, Big Rooster. The beautiful Miss V in chat. How you doing? But yeah, he don't discriminate at all. He treats his kids just like a broad off the street. You know, he has no respect nowhere in his DNA. And this dang on king, though, I mean, I really believe that they must have charged him with this, but it don't make sense that they haven't said anything. I'm still trying to figure that part out. But then to lie about, well, that's what Roxy said, that they told her that it was a mistake. But one thing I wonder if the numbers are the same. I don't know how that works. If it's linked to the if it's two cases linked, do it have the same case number on both records? I'm gonna have to look at that to figure it out. But it's there, so that's what's happening, and I don't know what if they're gonna address that. Say we gotta wait to trial. What? Chilling and you working hard, man. Let me see. What do you think, Goddess? I mean, it's hard to believe that these people is this smart, though. I ain't buying it. I did have something else up here, and I done went past my time already, so I might as well. Let me see how. What time is it? I'm gonna play a little bit of this.
I know, but what is a cell tower? What do you mean by that?
Play a little bit of this because this is one that I really I don't think I played this on my channel at all, and it's some very important info talking about the towers and all that.
See all over the place. They can be, one of those huge mammoth things that you see. They've got a bunch of cells on there and antennas that you see, or it could be, really small and but they're all over the place in the city.
And the records provide a indication of which tower it was that phone number was interacting with at a specific time?
Yes.
And does that allow you to take that information and put it into a map or go through a process to generate that location on a map?
Yes, we actually receive the information and put it into a system called Penlink, and that information will, like I said before, will basically put it in a readable format. So the information that you receive today, that's what you're going to look at.
Now let's talk about this case. Did you do that, follow your process based on your training for a target number of 313-585-8719?
Yes, I believe so.
Okay, and that was a T-Mobile record, correct?
It was.
Okay. And did you generate maps based on your training and experience using Penlink to map that phone number and that phone at specific times related to this case?
I did.
May I approach, Judge?
Yes.
I'm approaching with People's Proposed Exhibits 33 through 39. If you could take a look at those, Sergeant, do you recognize what I just handed you?
Yes.
And on the screen and in your hand is Exhibit 33. First, I want to talk about what's at the top, very top of this, and what information goes there.
The first row is going to have what's going to be on our calls report, a condensed version. There's going to be a lot more in the actual calls report, but this is the information that exhibits what's in the map down below.
Okay.
So for row 1, which we only have 1 row in this instance, we're going to have the target device, which is the phone number, and the date, time that was requested. So in this case, it's going to be January 9th of 2024, and the time, which is in UTC time or military time, it's going to be 16:09 or 4:09 p.m. And then the duration, how long the activity lasted. You have a start lag and said that's actually your location information. And then the call type, in this case, it was a voice call. Call status, whether it was completed or not completed. The direction, incoming or outgoing. Did he make the phone call or did somebody call him? And then you have the contact ID, which is who the device was contacting or interacting with.
Okay, and that would have been the phone number that it was, that in this case that we're looking at, an outgoing call was placed to?
Yes.
All right, so let's back up to the date, January 9th, 2024 that's what it says on Exhibit 33, correct?
Yes.
Okay. How do you know to do that date in particular for this case?
So for all of these maps, this was requested by the officer in charge.
That information is supplied to you?
Yes.
Okay. Do you know the details of other parts of this investigation, or are you just taking the information the OIC gives you?
I know the general information, but this is, they.
Wait, let me see. Where is my...
Ask for a specific date and time, and this is what we place on the map.
Okay. And then moving over to the next row for time, it says 16:09 and 24 seconds, correct?
That's, yes.
So that's my next question. You said that that's in UTC time. Can you describe or tell us what UTC time is?
No, this time that you have here is in our time, Eastern
Okay.
Standard Time. UTC time is Universal Time Coordinated, and that's going to have, that's like on the world clock. So you're going to have a -4 or a -5. The raw records come back to us in Universal Time Coordinated, and then we turn around and put it in our time so that you can read it and know that what time it happened here.
Oh. And so just to be clear, the 16:09 or 4:09 p.m. is what time it
Eastern
was
Standard
in
Time.
Detroit,
Yes.
where this phone was at 4:09 on January 9th.
Yes.
Okay. And that's a conversion that you have to do based on whether it's -4 or -5.
Yes.
What does that depend on, -4 or -5?
It's the UTC time, Universal Time Coordinated. So it's on the world clock. So our Eastern Standard Time will change, fall back or spring forward based on the summer and the winter. And so during the summertime, it's going to be -4 from UTC time. And then during the winter time, it's going to be -5. So we just put it in so that the time that you have here is Eastern Standard Time.
Okay. And then the 2 rows over, one next to duration, start, LAC/CID. Can you tell us a little bit more about what that information means and why it's important?
So that's going to be your location information. Your LAC is location area code, and then the SID or CID is your cell ID.
Okay. And that is what allows you to generate, or part of what allows you to generate the map that we see below?
Yes.
Okay. So let's talk about the map that we see below. First, you have those 2 lines going out in almost a incomplete triangle. Can you tell us what we're looking at there and what's in the middle?
Yes. So the middle part, you're actually looking at a V, and it's going to be about a mile long here in the Metro Detroit area. The cell coverage that you're looking at for any particular tower is usually about a mile. So that V is a representation of the intended area coverage of the cell phone company.
Okay. And then there's a little pie chart in the middle in a little shade. Can you tell us what that means?
Yes, that is the intended area coverage.
Okay, so that's the mile that you were talking about?
Yes.
Okay. And then you have a blue dot located to just above the top line there. Can you tell us what that is indicating?
That blue dot indicates 9,000 Connor, and that was requested to be placed on the map at this particular date and time.
Okay. And so what essentially is your conclusion about this map that we're looking at here? What does all of this mean?
In this particular date and time, so January 9th at around 4:09 p.m., the target device that we're looking at ending in 8719 is consistent with being in the area of the 9,000 Connor.
And how precise is this location? I mean, you say in the area, there's no specific spot that you can say this was at this address. How precise can you get with this?
So we can only tell you what the address and location of the cell tower and their intended coverage. They actually give you that. So you're working with radio frequencies. So it's not going to be an exact V that you see here. You're going to be working with radio waves. So it can be a little bit outside of the V or a little bit inside of the V, but basically this is just to demonstrate, you know, the intended area coverage of the cell phone company.
Okay. Going now to Exhibit 34, which is on the screen. First, is this the same information that we saw in Exhibit 33 across?
So this number, wait a minute, 18, 19, 19. Who's these people he talking to? Incoming, outgoing, incoming. Who are these people? I wonder if they gonna tell us. Give me 1 second, y'all. What's 586 area code? Is that Detroit? 248 area code. Y'all know these area codes? I know what 313 is.
The top of the map in Exhibit 34.
Yes.
Okay.
Duration. It wasn't even, so these two didn't even get answered. Wait, incoming, it looked like it was no duration, 2 minutes and 5 seconds at 7:02. So I wonder what made them just use the other time was 4:09, and then these times are 6:38, 6:55, 7:02, 7:22 p.m.
And you have 4 rows here instead of 1. Why do you have 4 rows instead of 1 in this map?
In this instance, the officer in charge requested to see a travel duration. So during the time between, I have 1838 and 1922, there are actually others in between, which you can actually see in the raw record. But to put that many records that happened in between is a lot. So basically we are showing the travel from, the blue dot indicates 9,000 Connor, and then the black dot indicates Ypsilanti. And they wanted to depict the travel from 9,000 Connor down to Ypsilanti during this time period.
And the first time period that you have for row number 1 is 1838 and 16 seconds?
Yes.
So that would be 6:38 p.m.?
Yes.
Okay. And is there a corresponding number on the map that relates to each row?
Yes, on row, you can actually see the row column. So number 1 is going to coincide with number 1, which is just leaving the 9,000 Connor area. And then you see on row number 2, it's depicted on the map as number 2. And it's traveling down 94 west. And then number 3 coincides with line number 3, and then 4 and so on.
Okay, and so your conclusion, correct me if I'm wrong, would be that for number 4, at around 19:22 and 33 seconds, that phone was in the area of Ypsilanti.
Just west of it.
Just west of it?
I believe there's a little town there, but yes.
Oh. And 1923, that would be 7:22 p.m., correct?
Yep.
Going to exhibit 35. Going to exhibit, okay, and so your conclusion, correct me if I'm wrong, would be that for number 4, at around 19:22 and 33 seconds, that phone was in the area of Ypsilanti.
Just west of it.
Just west of it?
I believe there's a little town there, but yes.
Oh.
So they saying it was in Ypsilanti at 1922. Okay. What's the name said? King said they left the shop at 7:30 p.m. But this say they was in Ypsilanti. That's what she just said, right?
That phone was in the area of Ypsilanti.
Just west of it.
Just west of it?
I believe there's a little town there, but yes.
Oh.
Yes.
And
like I said, I feel like they left left before 7:30. And obviously they did.
1923, that would be 7:22 p.m., correct?
Yep.
Going to exhibit 35. And on exhibit 35, which is on the screen now, you have, again, 4 rows, but there's different coloring for that information. Can you describe what we're looking at and what the coloring means?
Yes. So the blue dot indicates 9,000 Connor again, and the purple dot indicates 13362 Wilshire. And those are the 2 locations that the officer in charge requested to be placed on the map. And they wanted to show that this device was in the area of either of these locations and at what time.
Okay, and so can you tell us about the lines closer to the 9,000 Connor location and what ones those correspond to in your records up top there?
So this is an RTT report or a time in advance report. And the row number 1 and 2, which one is a dark blue line, and the other is a light blue line, all indicate approximately around the area of 9,000 Connor during the time of 2028 and 2042, which is 8:28 p.m. and 8:42 p.m.
Okay. And so is it fair to say that this phone was in the area of 9,000 Connor at those times on January 9th?
It's consistent with being around the area.
Okay. And then the other
8:28, 8:42, 8:48, and 8:39. Who they talking to? Doing a lot of talking, ain't you? Not answered and only one complete, but they don't say no duration, or is that 6 seconds? What? So it's showing that they back at around 900 Connor at 8 something. 8:28. Is that 20? Oh, 59.
to the purple and pink lines. Can you tell us about those?
So there's a dark purple and a light purple, and that's around the area of 13362 Wilshire. And those are times of 2048 or 8:48 p.m. and then 2059 or 8:59 p.m. So the RTT information has moved from around 9,000 Connor to 13362 Wilshire during that particular time.
And so does that indicate that the phone was traveling towards the direction of the Wilshire address?
It could have been.
Okay. And you said RTT. Can you tell us a little bit more about what that means?
RTT is a real-time tool or time in advance. Basically, it's a report that T-Mobile will send out, and it's historical location information. It's not necessarily based off of any type of activity. So you're not going to have phone calls during this time. It's not going to be text messages, or as long as the phone is on and the cell tower basically, or the base is able to get in contact with the device and back. So basically it's a time that it takes for a base station to send out a signal and then have it received back from the device.
Is it fair to say that that's more of a passive interaction between the phone? There's no input on the phone that's required for this?
There's no input required at all. There's not, any type of cellular activity at that time. It's basically for, efficiency and performance by the network.
Going to exhibit 36 now, which is on the screen. On that first page, you have 8 lines. Can you tell us the reason you have 8 lines and what they're indicating here?
Number 36 is a cause report and tower map of the date and time of January 9th from 22:53 or 10:53 p.m. to January 10th of 2024 at 1:11 a.m.
Okay. And so that's the time you're analyzing here, is from closer to midnight on the 9th going into the next morning, early morning on the 10th, correct?
Yes.
All right. And going to the second page of this exhibit.
So this is one. Wait a minute. So this they say in a couple hours. So I'm thinking that's when he was in the Baton Rouge or Rouge area. So from 22:53 p.m. to 1:11 a.m. on the 10th, or the 9th through the 10th.
Today. Can you tell us what we're looking at in this map on the second page of exhibit 36?
In this map, we're looking at rows 1, 2, and 3. So the red dot that you have right there smack dab in the middle indicates 2000 Harper, which is the Park Crest Motel. And then the next slide has a different address associated with it. But what we're looking at right here is the 2000 Harper Park Crest Motel.
And is that in Harper Woods? If you know.
That I don't know.
Oh. That highway that it's just off of, that's 94 highway, correct?
Yes.
Oh. And the 2 towers or the 2 lines that you have here, does that indicate the phone was interacting with those towers at the times in rows 1, 2, and 3?
Yes. You see the dark blue tower on the south side facing north. That's the area coverage. And then you have the light towers the light tower up top, the light blue, which is number 3, and that's facing downward, and they encompass the area. They overlap the area of the Park Crest Motel.
Okay. And the phone was interacting with both those towers at, go up for a second. 12:37 in the morning on the 10th?
Between 10:53 and 12:37 a.m.
And then going to the third page of this map, what are we looking at here on the third page, and what rows do they correspond to?
This third page is going to have a purple dot that indicates 4 East Alexandrine, and that is another location that was significant for the officer in charge to place on the map.
And sorry, maybe I missed you saying this. What rows does it correspond to on this map?
And that corresponds with the purple row. So each color represents the call detail records, the color on the call detail record report. So that's going to be row number 8 at 1:11 a.m. on the 10th of January.
And this is all for that target number ending in 8917, correct?
8719.
8719, sorry, thanks. All for the same number.
Yeah, all of these reports are for the same number.
And does that indicate to you that the phone moved from that Park Crest location down to where this is on Alexandrine?
Yes.
Okay. And then the last page of this exhibit, is this just an overview of both of those maps that we just looked at?
Yes, it is. So you'll see in the beginning, or I'm sorry, at the end of the 9th at around 10:53, it's up at the Park Crest Motel up there on the northeast side, and then it travels down at around 1:11 in the morning on the 10th down to the purple area.
And that's the Alexandrine.
It is.
Okay. Going now to exhibit 37, which is on the screen. And do you have the thing?
I do.
Okay. First, can you tell us again what we're looking at in the 3 rows on the first page of this exhibit?
So this is a time in advance report. You've got the row, the target, the day, and these are all in the color black and on the map for the second page. And basically it's showing on January 10th, 2024 from 22:51, which is 10:51 p.m. to 22:53 or 10.
So what are y'all thinking so far? I mean, it's a lot of information. I'm just pretty much just looking at it. Welcome in, Talina. Thank you for coming through. Shout out to Eula. Welcome in to everybody. Y'all, please smack the thumbs up for me. Goddess, yeah, he was. That man didn't even sleep that night. I'm telling y'all, he was on a mission. Yeah, him or they or something. Like, see, I don't know, man. I think somebody else might have been driving some of those, driving that phone around or something. I don't know, y'all. Remember, he had Google searches regarding home. Yep. Now, I don't know if they told us the times of the searches and stuff. I don't think, no, they didn't. They just told us what the searches were. Thank you, Eula. I appreciate it. Definitely. Yeah, so are y'all feeling like y'all think he did this by himself or he had help? I'm just curious. I'll do a poll. I'm gonna keep going.
And 53 p.m.
So later in the day on the 10th.
On the second day, yes.
Okay, and so we moved almost 24 hours, about 20 hours up from the last map, correct?
Yes.
Okay. And if we could go to the second page. And where is this phone interacting with on at the times that you just said later in the day on the 10th?
The information received from the cell phone company is right around Greenfield and 7 Mile.
And is that in the city of Detroit, Wayne County?
Yes.
Sorry?
Yes.
Okay. And going now to exhibit 38. We're looking at a lot more rows on exhibit 38. Can you tell us what we're looking at here?
Yes, this is the time period right after we were looking at 7 Mile and Greenfield. That time was all the way up until 22:53. So here we have from 23:40, which is 11:40 p.m. to 23:59, 11:59 p.m. And this is all on the same night of the 10th.
Okay. And this is so just about 40 minutes after the previous map, correct?
Approximately.
Okay. And was there any information in the records, if you know, between those two times, that 40-minute gap there?
They gave us a time in advance records.
Okay. And going to the second page of this, on the map here, first, can you tell us what that red dot indicates on this map?
So that red dot indicates 7 Mile and Berg.
And in terms of the circles around that, what do those represent?
The time in advance distance from the cell tower. So that's all going to be around 7 Mile and Berg area.
And is it fair to say then that this phone was interacting with those towers at the times you indicated around the 7 Mile and Berg area?
Yes.
And can you go back up to the first page? Thank you. Sorry. In row 1, what is the time there?
Row 1 is going to be on January 10th of 2024, 23:40, which is 11:40 p.m.
And then the last row, what is the time on the last row?
January 10th of 2024 at 23:59. And that was just because the officer had asked for just that day. It actually indicates that it stays there for a little bit more in the morning.
Okay, how much more in the morning if you know?
We actually have it on the next exhibit.
Oh, perfect. And so that phone on this exhibit was there from 11:40 to, at the very least, midnight almost on the 10th, correct?
The time in advance records, yes.
And again, this is timing in advance. This is the passive interaction, no input from the phone or the user, correct?
Yes, no calls, no text, no nothing. This is just the signals that the base station is getting to the device.
And going to exhibit 39. And can you tell us what we're looking at on the first page of 39?
So this is going to be essentially a combination of the last two exhibits that we just saw. So this is going to be from January 10th of 2024 at 9:49 p.m. or 21:49 to January 11th of 2024, the next day or the next morning at 1:34 a.m.
Okay. And going to the second page of this exhibit now. First, on the far left side of the screen, what area is that again that we're looking at?
On the far left of the screen is going to be the red dot indicating 7 Mile and Berg.
And that's the same area that we saw in the last exhibit in 38, correct?
Yes.
And in terms of what rows correspond to that one, how long was that phone there in that area into the next morning on the 11th?
Shout out to Talina. Thank you so much for the super sticker. I appreciate that. She said, I enjoy your breakdowns. I always walk away with new info or perspective. Justice for ZIYAH. That's what's up. Thank you so much for tuning in and finding value in my content. I definitely appreciate that. Man, it's a lot of work. You know what I'm saying? Sometimes it can be hard. It is hard at times, but it's definitely my jam. This is what I enjoy doing on here. And thank you so much. Shout out to you. Shout out to you. Let's go. Shout out to Talina. Shout out to you. Let's go. Thank you so much, y'all. And we do have a goal set up, just 5. And I think we got like 10 minutes left if you want to support the show.
You have, let me see. Okay, so starting with row 1, it's down in the purple area, bottom right-hand screen. You see that the purple dot indicates 4 East Alexandria, which we looked at a map from earlier. And then it goes to it's actually still there around the area of 4 Alexandrine, which is the purple on line 2. Then you see it start to traveling up to number 3, which is in the light blue area, which is in the middle one, just above the dark red. And then you see it show to the dark blue after the light blue. which is going to be still traveling north. And then that 7 Mile in Greenfield, which is that blue dot, and then going over to the 7 Mile in Burke.
And the 7 Mile in Greenfield, we looked at that one, I believe it was
We did.
36.
Yes.
And so where does the phone end up, and at what time is the last entry for the 7 Mile in Burke area?
So the 7 Mile in Burke area is at 134.13, number 8. And then you see that big kind of curved line, that's actually going to be line number 9. And that's when he's, the device is essentially, moving away from the location.
Okay. And so that phone then was there in that area of 7 Mile in Burke from about 12:40 to 1:34?
12:40.
Sorry, 11:40.
11, yeah. Yes, 11:40 p.m. to around 1:34 a.m. on the 11th.
And on the 11th at 1:34 a.m., it starts to move away, which is row number 9 on your first page there.
Yes.
Okay.
Shout out to my BFF. Thank you so much for sending me a Cash App. And she said, keep up the great work. Justice for ZIYAH. Shout out to you. I appreciate that. Hold on. Let me get over here. Shout out to y'all. Man, this is nice. Let's see. We'll go with Chris Brown again. Shout out to you. Let's go. Shout out to BFF. Shout out to you. Let's go. Shout out to my HMIC. Thank you so much, BFF.
And you had mentioned earlier that part of the search warrant return from T-Mobile includes subscriber information, correct?
Yes.
And did you get the subscriber information for this target phone number that we've been talking about?
Yes.
And do you remember what the name associated with this account was?
One of the subscribers didn't show any information. The other subscriber it was spelled wrong. It's like JARIS.
And what was the last name?
Butts.
BUTTS?
I believe so.
May I have one moment, George?
Yes.
Can you go back to the exhibit that we were talking about for the Park Crest Motel?
Yes.
I believe that's exhibit 36, correct?
36, yes.
And what's the address for the Park Crest Motel that's listed on there?
20,000 Harper.
Okay. Maybe I misheard you. I think you said 2,000 earlier. I just wanted to.
Oh, I apologize. It's 20,000.
20,000 Harper?
Yes.
Okay. Nothing further, Judge.
I have one question. That's on exhibit 38, the last one with 7 Mile in Burke, over the top left corner.
Yes, Jen.
Well, I guess this one works.
This is 38.
This is 38?
Did you make 39?
Yes. 39. So there's an image of a house in the bottom right in purple. You have blue is the car. The left in the 7 Mile in Burke is shoes. What does that indicate? Or footprints?
I believe there was possibly some evidence there. That's
Okay, I
why
didn't know what the different images, if it was significant.
No.
Thank you. I don't know if you have questions based off of what I asked.
No, I don't.
Okay.
Unless, may I have one more? Nothing further.
Okay, cross.
Don't come with no stupid questions, sir.
Good morning, Sergeant O'Rourke.
Good morning.
You're an expert on this. I'm not. So I just want to go through some things, okay?
No problem.
So the cell phone data you have, you call it historical data, correct?
Yes.
Okay. So there are 3 ways that you.
Shout out to Love Angel. Is that what I? Yeah, shout out to Love Angel. Thank you so much for the super sticker and welcome to my channel. Thank you for being here. Please hit those 3 dots top right. Yes, please smack the thumbs up, y'all. Shout out to Love Angel. Let me play a different one. Let's go with Snoop Dogg. Shout out to Love Angel. Thank you so much. Thank you, thank you, thank you. We appreciate that.
Can find phone location, correct?
There's a lot of different ways you can find phone location.
Sure, fair enough. But the 3 primary GPS information from the phone, right? The phone has a GPS and you can get GPS information from the phone.
That's not what we deal with.
Right, but I'm just saying that is a way of
That could
locating
be
the
a
phone.
way.
And you can triangulate a phone call, correct?
We don't do triangulation. So
Okay.
the mapping that you're looking is not triangulation.
So what you're doing is what's called cell site location information?
No, we're doing the calls report. They actually give you a physical lat and long for the tower. They also give you the azimuth, which is the central location of the area coverage.
It's called
So
a
we're
CDR.
actually putting all the information that they give to us and putting it on a map.
Right, it's called a CDR, correct?
Call detail record.
Call
yes.
detail record, okay. So the call detail record is basically a bunch of numbers that tell you this phone is communicating with a tower in a certain area, correct?
Yes.
And from that, you come up with the cell site location information, correct?
No, they give you the cell site location information. That's the lat and long of the cell tower. They give you that.
Who gives you that?
The cell phone company. That's the call detail record.
Okay.
Welcome in, Charlene.
And I think you mentioned this is all historical information.
Yes.
And it's an interpretation, so it's not 100% accurate, correct?
When you say 100% accurate, the cell towers are the lat and long. There's no interpretation there. If you're talking about the intended area coverage.
Right.
The intended area coverage, they give you an azimuth, okay? And then that intended area coverage is generally around 66 or so degrees area coverage.
Okay. So the cell phone, the information you get is the phone connecting with a tower, sending information that tells you this is the location of the phone.
For call detail records, they give you the tower, lat and long, the actual address of the tower. They also supply the intended area coverage, which is the beam width of how far or how big the intended area coverage is, along with the azimuth, which is why we do it in the shape of a V. So they're giving you the V-shaped and the azimuth, the smack dab in the middle. So they're telling us that's the intended area coverage.
That is the intended area.
Yes.
Okay. And Sergeant, it's true that the cell phone is going to get a signal from the tower that it gets the strongest signal from, right?
Generally speaking, yes.
That doesn't necessarily mean it's the closest, correct?
No, it doesn't have to be the closest.
Okay, and there are factors that will affect which tower or what sends out the strongest signal, correct?
Yes, there could be factors.
Okay. Things like the distance from the tower, obviously. The height of the tower, would that affect it?
What normally affect, I mean, it could, but what normally is going to affect anything regarding, connection to a tower, possibly weather, tall buildings, if you have a huge event where there's a ton of people trying to get on it, like, Ford Field or Comerica. Those are the types of things that can determine where the strongest tower is going to be. However, here in the Metro Detroit area, it's still going to be approximately a mile because we have so many towers that they can connect to. So you're not going to get one, that's 20 miles away. It's still going to be within a mile radius.
I think you've already answered that. Now, is it also true that the tower isn't actually owned by the cell phone company, generally?
So they can lease it out, but you have the person that actually makes it, and then you have, AT&T, T-Mobile, Verizon. They can all utilize any of the towers that you see here.
Right. So your information
hacking
is
all over
from
everything.
T-Mobile, correct?
Yes.
And from that very same tower, let's say AT&T could have phone calls coming in, correct?
Possible.
So there's no way to tell how many phone calls AT&T has from the closest tower, correct? At the same time as T-Mobile.
They're not going to be on the same network.
They're not going to be in the same, but
No,
they're
so
using the same tower.
You have the cellular network, but you have AT&T that is going to utilize some towers. You have T-Mobile that's going to utilize some. You have Verizon that's going to utilize some. Some lease them out to other people, but I don't know exactly what it is that you're asking.
So you're saying that it doesn't matter how many users are utilizing the tower, it just matters whether or not they're on the same bandwidth?
You have a SIM card that goes into each and every single phone. So, and that's on their network. So you're not going to get onto an AT&T network from a T-Mobile phone or vice versa. That's how they do their billing. That's how they, ensure that they have all the information that you receive is accurate. You're not going to have an AT&T phone,
That's not my question. My question is, can a single tower be utilized by multiple companies at the same time?
It could, yes.
Would that weaken that signal, the capacity of that tower?
I'm not an engineer. I don't know how big this tower is, any specific tower. That's something you would have to ask the cell phone company.
Okay. And it's also true that a cell phone can attach to a tower up to 20 miles away, correct?
So it could in, let's just say, Alaska or, rural areas in Colorado in the mountains where you don't have that many people. And so they have bigger towers that, go further distances because they're not servicing as many people as you would, let's say, in Detroit. In Detroit, we have so many towers here that they're not going to utilize something that's 20 miles away and skip over, the hundreds of towers that you have right here. That's not going to, I'm not going to say never, but that doesn't generally happen here in Detroit. I haven't seen one at least.
Okay. And there's generally overlap, and I think even one of the slides you had, there's overlap in these towers, correct?
When you say overlap?
Meaning that a single area can be covered by multiple towers.
That's generally how it is. You have one tower. I mean, even in the ones that we were looking at, you have one tower with multiple cells on there. So this is for T-Mobile or any company to make sure that they have coverage, that you don't lose your service. You could have one cell facing this way, then here, then here, then here, then here. They're all going to overlap to ensure that the person has coverage, that they don't drop their service. So yes, you've had overlapping.
So basically the data, you said that you use a program called PenLink. What exactly is PenLink?
PenLink is a program that we're able to receive the call detail records, input it, and basically it just puts it in a readable format. So for example, all of the calls reports that you see come in Universal Time Coordinated or UTC time. PenLink will make the time adjustments so that we'll have it in Eastern Standard Time versus having everything that you see and you have to do it in your head, -4 on each or -5 on each of these lines.
So all PenLink does is convert the time. It doesn't.
It does a whole bunch of other stuff too. We can
get on
many
everybody's
different
nerves.
reports. You can do a call frequency report, see how many times that a specific calls report, called a specific person. There's a lot of different things that you can do. We can do tower dumps on them. like, there's multiple things that Penley can do, but basically they're able to give us reports in a readable format that you would be able to understand versus looking at just raw records.
Okay, so you get raw records from the phone company, correct?
Yes.
Do you know if there's any error in the records that you get or in the data that you receive from the company?
Do I know if there's any errors
Right.
in the raw records?
Right.
I would have nothing to compare it to. That's the information that they give us.
Okay, so you don't know if the information that you receive is 100% accurate,
Well, that
correct?
information is certified by the cell phone company.
So we're in the Detroit area, and this is just hypothetical. We're in the Detroit area, right? We're across the border from Canada, correct?
Yes.
Have you ever gotten a message from Detroit that says you are roaming in Canada?
Yes.
Okay, but you're not in Canada, right?
Correct.
So that would be an error, right?
Yes.
So the cell phone can make an error, right?
That's not an error. They ask you if you want to utilize those towers and they charge you for it. You either say yes or no. And if you connect to them, you're being charged for that. And they notify you in call detail records when you're out of utilizing international, or Canadian towers.
Okay.
He ain't talking about nothing, but we got this far. We might as well finish it.
You also mentioned that there were multiple subscribers on this phone.
Yes.
So there was more than one phone?
No. So you had the information from, I believe it was Sprint, who merged with T-Mobile.
Okay.
So now it's T-Mobile. But we received, I believe it was the Sprint subscriber information and the T-Mobile subscriber information.
Okay. So there's not, so when you said multiple subscribers, you did not mean multiple phones.
Multiple subscriber reports. There's not multiple phones, it's just one phone.
Oh, shoot. I didn't know it was this late.
And then, of course,
The hell?
you
definitely
obviously
didn't.
can't say who was using the phone or who was with the phone at the time this phone
No.
was being tracked, correct?
Oh, shit. Where we at?
Yeah, I have that further.
Very briefly, Joseph. Mr. Reagan's asked you about the timing. And you mentioned UTC time. Just to be clear, all of the times that we looked at in the exhibits
What the
are
heck?
in Eastern Standard Time, so local time.
Yes.
Okay. And you mentioned something earlier, azimuth.
Yes.
First, can you spell that? for the court?
AZMIUTH.
Okay. And what is that?
It's just the center of the width of the, basically it's gonna be the center of the width of the triangle that you're
Okay, or the V shape?
Yes, the V shape.
And that has to do with the intended area coverage, correct?
Correct.
Okay. And you said that, well, Mr. Riggins asked you about connecting to a tower 20 miles away. You remember that question?
Yes.
You said you had never seen that in Detroit, correct?
Not in Detroit.
How many times have you done this analysis? How many times have you put these maps together for different cases?
Since 2016.
And is that like in the thousands then, or less than that?
Oh, yes.
Okay. More than 1,000?
Oh, yes.
Okay. And that's all been for the Detroit area or Metro Detroit area?
Yes.
For the most part?
The Metro Detroit area, yes.
And Sergeant, does the subscriber information that is received have a physical address associated with it?
That I don't know. You would have to actually look at the subscriber information.
Okay, would that refresh your memory as to
Yes.
this case? May I approach, Judge?
Yes.
I'm approaching with the subscriber information. If you can just take that. Does that refresh your memory as to whether a physical address was associated with these CDRs or call detail records?
Yes.
And what was that address associated with the target phone in this case?
13362 Wilshire Drive.
I have another very interesting.
All righty then. Okay, so as far as her part, let me see. It says the expert testified that data showed Butt's phone sometime after 4 p.m. on January 9th at the shop on Connor Street. Between that time and a little before 7:30 p.m. Okay, and the data showed the phone's location heading to Ypsilanti, consistent with what one of the witnesses testified on Monday about seeing ZIYAH with Butts. Further analysis showed more activity from his cell phone near his shop once again between 8:22 p.m. and 9 p.m. on January 9th. The expert then testified that Butt's phone activity showed him near the Park Crest Inn in Harper Woods. Two witnesses on Monday testified that Butts would allegedly take women there for some smith, like somebody said in the chat. So another exhibit showed Butts' phone activity between 11:40 p.m. on January 10th and 1:30 a.m. on January 11th near the area of 7 Mile and Berg. Same area where they found her clothes. And then another exhibit showed Butts' phone activity between 11:40 p.m. on January 10th and 1:30 a.m. on January 11th near the area of 7 Mile and Berg Road. So it is the same area. Well, I just read that, I think. Yeah, but it is the same area that her clothes were found. Wait. Yeah, it's the same area that the crew searched for her body. And they never found her. Okay. So but they did find a jacket, the pink onesie, and one black Nike shoe. What? It wasn't black. Boy, I tell you. Red, black, and white. But they got black. This is what I'm reading. This coming from I ain't gonna even say. What witnesses described the teen? Oh, this is what the people described her as wearing. So we are responsible to miss. So the Border Patrol, he said, we are responding to a missing person. Border Patrol agent Wyatt Barnes told the court on Tuesday. I was searching the river bank on River Road. We were searching south along the bank. I was on the east side of the bank on 7 Mile and Berg. Butts has also been charged with the essay of two other girls in a separate case. So yeah, I'm gonna look at that again to see what's what. But thank y'all for the, let me see, we got 32 votes and counting. Thank y'all for hitting the reaction button. That is so important too. I appreciate that. And so the question was, do you think Jarvis had a driver? Do you think he had another driver? And 61% is 41 votes now. 61% said yes. 7% says no. And thank y'all for the hearts. And 32% says, I have no idea. So, I mean, it's possible. I definitely think they did something slick with the phones, but I gotta look at these times again. Let me see. Shout out to y'all for smacking those reactions, though. We appreciate that. Shout out to the 60 people still in the building. And let me see what y'all saying. Oh, it's on the wrong side. So 106 likes. Thank y'all so much for getting us over 100 likes. We appreciate that. That's always our goal at minimum. I definitely think she was moved. Definitely think she was moved. So like when he borrowed the car the first day, he had her sitting somewhere and then he came back and moved her. I think definitely that's a possibility that she was somewhere until but it don't, let me think. So he did a lot of moving around for that confusion. But she definitely could have been moved, but I'm still more geared towards something happened out that way, out more where they were at in Ypsilanti, or I was going to say hell. She definitely went to Ypsilanti according to the aunt, and I don't think the aunt have no reason to be involved. I'm talking about King's baby mama sister. She had no reason to be involved with this, no kind of way. But we don't know. And why is there video of her going into the motel but not out? I haven't heard that. They don't have I don't think they have any footage because they talked about, I heard somebody say that, but I didn't see that in the evidence. In the evidence they said that because he actually had a sign in and out sheet, and Shannon Jones, the lead investigator, said that the footage was overwritten. Like they didn't have good footage. But I do remember her saying they got some footage from the gas station, but then she turned around and said that it was overwritten. So I don't think that there's no footage. The only footage that I know about is ZIYAH walking down the street and her on the bus. That's the only footage I know about. They didn't question them on the stand yet either. Right. I can't wait until them 40 witnesses come in and see what they got to say. Yes, I'm hoping that some more information will come out. But if it was evidence, they should have submitted it here. So the motel staff. Now I heard that they talked to the motel staff and they said at least one person said that they didn't see him. They didn't see him that night, but somebody else might have seen him. So they must have questioned somebody. Maybe he didn't even go through the front door. Well, at first you got to go through the front door, but you could literally, like one of the things I was saying when I was thinking that ZIYAH might have been at that room, I don't think ZIYAH was at the room now. I just feel like he got the room for some type of home base. And he's gonna, I think he got the room just to try to make it look like he was there or something. I don't even think he laid in that room unless he went back that night to get a good night's rest and clean up after he did what he did. But I don't know, man. It's gonna be interesting to find out what all these, the 40 more witnesses got to say. They got 10 on the defense side. Who gonna try to defend him in any kind of way? Nobody shouldn't have nothing good to say about this dude. But hey, I guess he deserves his rights, I guess. But the video is probably gonna be in the trial. I hope they got some video footage, but I was going by what the lead investigator, her testimony said. It don't sound like they have none at all. But with the preliminary hearing, just from my understanding, all the evidence that they have should come out there. But that don't mean that they might not have some new stuff presented. You know, that's why they had these conferences to come back together to find out. Let me see. You can call back if you call. Call back. I got it in my hand now. Let me turn it up. But what was I gonna say? Yeah, moderators. Oh, that's night. But I forgot what I was saying. I did not realize it had got that late, y'all. I was really shocked. I'm about to call you. If you don't hurry up. Let me call her back. BFF, was you trying to call me? Maybe not. What time is it? Right. I'm looking at my time. Let me get my butt off of here, man. I gotta go to bed. Hold on. BFF.
BFF.
Hey, you was trying to call me?
I did.
Oh, what's up? What you think about this?
Oh man, there's so much going through my mind. I just want them to find her at the end of the day, but it's so much. It's so much, and I don't know. I don't even know what to say, but it's stressful. It's so stressful. I just want her to be found,
Yeah.
and have everybody else get them pretty cuffs on. You feel me?
Yeah, I do got a question for you. As far as the all this driving around and stuff that they was doing, do you think that he had help with the driving part, or what do you think about that part with the phone?
I believe that. I believe he had help because they're not that smart to do stuff by themselves. He definitely had help. I believe he had help, and I believe Shannon has her hand in a lot of this, and King too.
He had to know, man. Ain't no way that man didn't know. Yeah, anybody that was with him would have had to know. And then think about it, because afterwards, Jarvis called the shot. Remember, he called King like 3 times. He said they talked 30 minutes, 15 minutes, and then another time on the 10th. Why did they have so much to talk about? And then when we talk about when they questioned Shannon, they asked Shannon if Jarvis is known to get dropped off one place and picked up by somebody else. So I'm like, why would they ask her that? Did Shannon pick him up? I don't know. They did research and study that other case.
That there's a lot of key players in it, and it's gonna come to light. It's gonna come to light, and we just got to be patient and wait for it. That's all I can say is just wait for it. And I'm sure we're gonna be shocked, but people need to stop basically just saying one thing and doing another. Look at Roxy. You know what I'm saying?
I can't believe that one right there. Like, wow, that was that. Now that's the one
Why are you changing your tune all of a sudden?
Dang.
Why?
If it wouldn't look, I've been listening at what everybody been saying, but that one right there, like, no, we ain't going. We are not going on that, because we heard what she said. You started out talking about yourself and end up her, she, and all that. Like, that don't even make sense.
Yeah, it's wild. It's wild. That's all I can say. It's wild.
Liars gonna lie and get caught up every time. But thank you so much for calling in.
Well, thank you, and you keep up the good work. And I just want to say thank you to the chat. Y'all's awesome. You got them likes up. I appreciate it.
Yes.
It's like pulling teeth for some people.
Man.
But we definitely appreciate it. So I just wanted to give a shout out to the chat.
Yeah, and shout out to you for moderating the chat. Yeah, let's get it. We want to get to that 300. I got a thing to say, help us get to 300 and 500.
Yeah,
so
for real. The chat is a big part of it, and I just want to say thank you, you know, to them too, and show some love to them as well. But happy Friday, y'all. Happy Friday, and I'm gonna get back in the chat.
All right. Thank you for calling.
All right, love you, BFF.
Love you too. Bye.
Bye.
Shout out to Saint. Shout out to you for renewing your membership. Welcome in. So I am going to get out of here, y'all. Thank y'all so much for tuning in. And again, shout out to Saint. I know you didn't do it on this one, but I noticed it yesterday. So thank you for renewing your membership. And shout out to everybody in the chat. Thank y'all so much for hitting the reactions, commenting, and tuning in to my content. I definitely appreciate each and every last one of y'all. And look forward to seeing y'all in the next live stream. So after this one another one is going to pop up. And we'll be back tomorrow. But shoot, we're going to go earlier. I got a monkey wrench thrown in today. So, anyway, y'all, thank y'all so much for tuning in. Sorry if I missed your comment, but I do always drop the number. Or you can even ask me to drop the number to call in. Well, let me change that because I like to have the call-ins at certain times. But I do drop that number for any and everybody to call in for your input if I don't get a chance to get to your comment. Don't feel slighted in any way. But again, thank y'all so much. And justice for ZIYAH. Justice for her. Let me move this out of her face as we get up out of here. Bastard need to be locked up for life. She didn't deserve it, and everybody failed her. I mean, starting with her parents and her family, and then the law enforcement. That's crazy that everything worked against her. That blows me away. Like, it wasn't nobody to save her. Everywhere that she went, it seemed like they was in cahoots with the granny or something. Seriously. Like, after listening to that Jernell and Kiwana, hearing them say that no matter what we said, they said this, they was getting all smart and weird with them. Talking about, well, Annette said this. Like, okay, y'all a little bit too cool with Annette. What's going on with that? Speaking of Annette, I mean, I called her a madam. Madam, that's what she is. Allegedly. Everything is alleged. But, oh, I got this video over it. Old Granny Dearest, trying her best to squeeze out a tear. And I'm still waiting on it to come drop. She ain't shedding not one. But all right, y'all, we up out of here. Please be sure to like, share, and subscribe to my channel. Make this go viral. Smack that thumbs up on the way out if you didn't get a chance yet. Thank all of y'all for tuning in. Oh, thank you, Saint. I appreciate that. Shout out to the replay gang. Y'all are so important too. Smack that thumbs up while you replaying. And drop down in the comments so I know what y'all think about it. Should have said that in the beginning. 110 likes. That's one of my favorite numbers right there. My daughter's birthday. We want to get 510 next time. Peace and love, y'all. We out. Please subscribe and press that notification bell and thumbs up. Please subscribe.